time you come around, you know what I feel like doing to you. Rukundo, don't waste my time. If you know what I want, just give it to me.
Today we bring you Jackie Chandiru, a former member of the Blue Three who had to be pushed to take a step in which she has found pride and happiness. Born to a Lugbara father and a Muganda mother, Jackie Chandiru is one of Uganda's leading female R&B artists and vocalists.
Every time you come around, you know what I feel like doing to you. Rukundo, don't waste my time. If you know what I want, just give it to me.
Today we bring you Jackie Chandiru, a former member of the Blue Three who had to be pushed to take a step in which she has found pride and happiness. Born to a Lugbara father and a Muganda mother, Jackie Chandiru is one of Uganda's leading female R&B artists and vocalists. Jackie kicked off her musical career in 2004 after she emerged as one of the winners for the Coca-Cola Pop Stars. This led to the formation of Blue Three that became one of the leading girl groups in Uganda and Africa with hit songs like Kakana, Hitaji, among many others. Jackie did not wish for a solo music career, and when the idea was first mooted in October 2009 by the Blue Three management team Talent 256, Jackie was more than apprehensive to an idea she voted against but lost. However, from the look of things, it is evident that Jackie definitely enjoys the harvest of her solo career, with her songs acquiring more airplay and attention.
I still stand through thick and thin, yeah, like a tiger on and proud.
Jackie's solo career started in 2010 when Blue Three went on leave, leading to the girls working on solo projects, thus Jackie releasing Agasi in both Lugbara and English as her first solo in mid-2010.
It be my dream, Mamiagi,
Cheche chenyini obudde bwa NTV Akawungeezi musibye mutyano banafe nsonze n'amawulire gaffe nga bulijjo tula okalire oleme kusubwa kulaba agambibwa okwenyigira mu kittabantu ekyali e Rwanda mu 1994 kati ali mu mikono gya poliisi. Waliwo n'omuvubuka abanja Crane Bank akoze katemba wano mu kibuga wakati songa n'emirambo emirala ebiri gizuuliddwa e Buduuda. Gino gye mitwe mikulu egiri mu galeero nkomawo n'amawulire mu bujjuvu. Entambula esanyaladde emitiyana, aba taxi beediimye, entabo evudde ku ttenda. Nzize kusula wano, omuvubuka w'e Makerere abanja Crane Bank akoze katemba. Etteeka ku biyiiye, ekikwekweto kikoleddwa mu Kampala, abasuubuzi boogedde ebisongovu. Mu by'emizannyo, ebikonde by'enkya, Zebra Ssenyange awera kufuntula mu Nakenya. Nkwaniriza nnyo nate munafe nze Hatimana Lugwa Sekaya. Tutandise n'omuyizi w'e Makerere Ibrahim Bagaya olwaleero afuukidde aba Crane Bank ekyambika bw'abalumbaganye ng'alina Omuyizi w'Emakerere Ibrahim Bagaya olwaleero afuukidde aba Crane Bank ekyambika babalumbaganye ng'alina ebintu okubadde akatto n'essuuka n'ategeeza nga babadde agenda okusula mu banka eno. Ono agamba nti azze yeemulugunya eri abaddukanya banka eno mu ngeri gy'abadde asalibwako ssente buli lwagenda okuziggyayo kukuuma akaziwandula kayite ATM gy'agamba mbu tagitegeera. Bagaya agamba nti buli lwabadde atuukirira abakulu mu banka okumuyamba nga beebuzaabuza. Bo aba banka bagamba nti kituufu ensonga za Bagaya babadde bazimanyiiko naye nti baali bamutegeeza nga bwe bagenda okuzikolako. Omusasi waffe abaddewo kabituwe mu bujjuvu.
Ibrahim Bagaya yazze n'akatomu n'essuuka ng'ekigendero kya kusula ku Crane Bank okutuusa nga asasuddwa ssente z'abanja. Asazeewo okutuula mu mulyango oguyingira mu banka eno era abantu abalala obwedda tebalina bwe bayita. Kyokka poliisi temuganyiza.
Don't dare harass me. Take me where? Are you the one who brought me here? Are you the one who brought me here? Take me.
Bagezaako okumusikambula naye nga naye abalaga kiteyazze kusaaga.
Are you the one who brought me here? Are you the one who brought me here? Gentlemen, why are you pulling me? You hopeless man, why are you pulling me?
Poliisi ekanze kumugamba ave mu kifo kino naye ng'essira nsano ku mazzi.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm a client of this bank and I want to go out. I'm a client of this bank and I want to go.
Wano kugezaako kumusindika naye nga tabaganya.
Don't sindika yourself. Don't push me. Nzazira sente zange. Ne nanzia mtu akwira nzia mo kudiyayo. Nibangamba sente basaze kweza cash rejection. Ngalo 15 banziba.
Wano ofisa wa poliisi kwe kuvayo n'amuwoyawoya akkiriza okuyingira mu banka balabe manager asose kugaana kyokka oluvannyuma n'akikiriza.
There are no results. I'm not leaving this place. If they don't give me my money, I want to go out.
Abakulira banka eno bakkiriza ddala Bagaya aliko kwemulugunya kwe yakola gye bali naye ne bamusuubiza nti ensonga ze za kukolwako olwaleero.
Yeah, it is genuine claim. There was a technical error. What happened is there was some communication lapse. Money was not given to him. He came here and made a complaint, which was on the 3rd. And it was verified and money was paid to him. Today, is one day too much to ask for, to investigate?
Oluvannyuma bamusasudde ssente ezimu era bw'agenze mu kuuma akawandula ssente aka ATM ddala azisanzeeyo. Wabula ategeeza nti enkya bwe batamuwandala bakulaba akamufaamu.
Mtu kina gye mbadde manja afunyeko emitwalo 3 kaakati tukiziganyiza nti by ultimatum y'olunaku lw'enkya n'aba nfunye balance wa ssente zange ezibulayo gye emitwalo 5 ne kabata ne batagiteekako ngenda kujja no bangenda kuba kuva ku kizimbe ekyo ngo wansi waneeno sidiru.
Oluvannyuma lw'okufuna ssente zino Bagaya atambudde nga nnende eno ng'ali ku masimu era ng'afunyemu n'amaanyi agayita oba bodaboda.
Boda
bw'atazeeyo Makerere naye ng'omugaga yenna bw'abeera abaddeko abagoberezi.
Ebyo bibadde wano mu kibuga wakati wali ku Kampala Road awasangibwa Crane Bank. Ebyentambula bigootanye mu kibuga Mityana enkya ya leero abavuzi ba taxi beediimye nga bawakanya ekyabakulira district eno okugaana okuzza obujja tenda yaabwe. Poliisi eyitiddwa bukubirire okuzza embeera mu nteeko kubanga bano babadde batabuse nga bwe balumba ofiisi z'abantu ab'enjawulo mu kitundu kino. Oluvannyuma lwa bino byonna baddereeva beevumbye akafubo ne kaawo kyokka tewali kalungi kaluvuddemu era bwe batyo ne bawera obutaddamu kusasula ssente yonna okuggyako ng'ensonga zaabwe zikoleddwako.
Dereva ne bakondakita emitiyana abegattira mu kibiina kya Association of Mityana Drivers and Conductors be baakedde okwekalakaasa olw'okulemesebwa okuzza obujja tenda y'oku stage yo Caltex. Obudde abamu bakutte emigoba nte okuziyiza abatikka abasaabaze wano poliisi kwe kubiyingiramu. wabula poliisi olusimbudde ne bakuŋŋaana nga abalala bayimba ekitiibwa kya Buganda ne boolekera Town Council gye bakoledde effujjo nga baagala Town Clerk aveeyo wadde nga ofiisi zibadde nzigale. Wano DPC w'Emityana Alfred bagamba ki kwe kuvaayo baleme okukolerawo effujjo.
Netwagala yatule n'akamwake tutwalizizza draft yammwe n'ensonga zammwe tugenda zikula.
Kino tekibamalidde ne balumba ekitebe kya disitulikiti nga baagala ssentebe Debula Kinobe. Kaawo Anthony Iga n'avaayo n'ayogerako gye bali.
Kibadde balinako olunaku lw'eggulo kwe kusumulula ki buli omu nga badde bagireese bajja kutuula oluvannyuma bakole kye bayita evaluation okwetegereza.
Wano ensisinkano gye babaddeko tevuddeemu kalungi era bwe batyo ne bategeezanga bwe batagenda kuddamu kusasula ssente za stage eno.
Ekikwekweto ekibadde kigendereddwamu okufuuza abo abakozesa mu bukyamu ebiyiiye omuli ennyimba ne firimu kigudde butaka. Kino kiddiridde abantu ku kizimbe kya Zai Plaza okwekyanga bwe batyo ne balemesa ababadde ku mulimu guno omubadde n'okubawerekereza ebisongovu. Ekikwekweto kino kati kigenda kuddamu kutegekebwa bupya.
Wabaddewo okuwanyisiganya ebisongovu wakati w'abakulira ekibiina ekifuga abayimbi ne bannakatemba wamu n'abantu abatunda firimu mu kizimbe kya Zai Plaza. Kino kiddiridde ekikwekweto ekikoleddwa abakulembeze b'ekitongole ekya Uganda Performing Rights Society mu kaweefube w'okulwanyisa abo abajingirira ebintu by'abalala saako n'ababikozesa awatali kufuna lukusa.
Eno entandikwa y'okukola operation ezigenda okumalawo obumenyi bw'amateeka mu copyright. Ekintu kino tuludde nga tukirwanirira lwakubanga abayimbi baffe tebadde tebakyafuna ku ssente wadde akatono bwe kati ate nga industry eno ebadde eteekwa okuyamba ennyo mu kuteekawo emirimu naddala ku lw'abavubuka. Abayimbi bangi be tulina naye kati tekyali agula nnyimba zaabwe.
Etteeka erikwatagana n'ebiyiiye likungira abantu obutamala gakozesa ebintu ebiba biyiyiziddwa ng'obutambi bw'ennyimba ne firimu nga tebikkiriziddwa. Mu kwewozaako abasumbuzi bagambye nti ennyimba ne firimu ze batunda obuyinza babujja mu bazannyi bennyini.
Ennyimba abayimbi bennyini beesitula gye bavudde ne baleeta oluyimba. Kwata oluyimba lwange luno luntere ku collection yo era collection gye tuyina wano eno abayimbi bonna abasinga be batukwasa ennyimba zaabwe.
Wabula abakulira ekitongole kya Uganda Performing Rights Society bawezenga bweri entandikwa nga bagenda kuddayo bategeke buto bafunze ababazanyira mu mulimu gwabwe. Suhail Mugabi, NTV Akawungeezi.
Amaka agasoba mu 200 ge gaweereddwa nsalesale w'omwezi guno gwokka okubanga gamuse olubalama lw'ennyanja Nakivale esangibwa mu disitulikiti y'Isingiro. Ministry y'ebyobutonde n'amazzi yeragidde bano okuvaawo ng'egamba nti bali kumpi nnyo n'ennyanja eno ng'eyinza n'okutuuka okukalira olw'emirimu egy'enjawulo emingi gye bakolerako.
Harimu amaju harimu entookye na buli kimwe kyona. Mbwenu shi ikibuzo cyanye nkigera ngo isobere ko kuba wahakamanda ntobugabe na family yanje akijaka na police bakija bakanta he ibintu byanje bakabinagisaho nkagaruka nkai
ati mbwenu mwandinga none ntaka abana nyina bana ngenda
shazi na children
nimba takai
hati ntuza gukora cyo mutsara hamita Mureke kutumara umutumo munda maragona gayohoka.
Bwe batyo abantu bwe balidde mu ttama olw'obutakkiriziganya na kusalawo okukoleddwa ekitongole ky'ebyobutonde n'amazzi ekyabatuuze bano okweyongera ewala okuva ku nnyanja kubanga gye bakoma okugirima okumpi nayo okukala. Kyokka baminisita bano wadde bafubye okunyonyola obulabo obuliwo ne lwaki bakisazeewo bwe batyo abantu tebakkiriziganyizza nabo. Bwe batyo nabo kwe kubakakasa nga batajja kusaagira mu nsonga y'okukuuma ennyanja n'obutonde bw'ensi okutwalira awamu era ne bababuuliranga okubajja mu kitundu kino bwe kugenda okutandika amangu ddala era baba naagezaako okuwalira baakubaleetera poliisi.
Our resolve to protect the fragile ecosystem like Lake Nakivale is going to start, and we are not going to waver. We are going to hold on to our responsibility.
Please cooperate, cut them off or harvest them as soon as possible.
Babalabudde n'obutagendera ku birowoozo by'abannabyabufuzi abayinza okwagala okubawabya. Ennyanja eno y'ensibuko y'amazzi agasinga okukozesebwa mu disitulikiti eno n'endala nga Rakai n'Entungamo ssaako okugyamu ebyennyanja.
NTV Akawungeezi ekyagenda mu maaso. Tovaawo nkomawo n'ekitundu ekyokubiri nga mulimu amawulire amalala mangi omuli ne gano. Ekitta abantu mu Rwanda abadde ayiggibwa akwatiddwa mu Uganda. Okulwanyisa enguzi, ababaka baagala etteeka lizingiremu n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga.
To be honest, is one of the most scary genres of music for me. To be honest, is one of the most scary genres of music for me.
For me every day. Irifemasi nisu tadi magero.
I'm big meat. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody. I'll roll up. Put it down on me, put it down on me. Fire flame, spitter. G6 like a G6. I think I'm big meat. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody. Sky, let's get rich, what? You can see a man's face, but you can't see his heart. I am Wale, Oluba, we be in the party like we own that bar. Tease me, baby. And forever, he does not change. And those who strive with, he does not change. And those who strive with you shall perish. I pray that which who has been fighting you will look at you. Fear not! God doesn't like cowards. He wants believers.
Just walk. Pick up your legs. Pick up your legs. Pick up your legs.
Your Saturday afternoons just got better on NTV with Exposed. Join Cats and the Platinum DJs. Saturday afternoons just got better on NTV with Exposed. Join Cats and the Platinum DJs as Saturday afternoons just
NTV Akawungeezi. Kino kye kitundu kyaffe ekyokubiri. Poliisi wano mu Kampala ekutte Taddi Kwitonda omusajja omunyarwanda kooti e Belgium gwe yeetaaga ku misango gy'okwenyigira mu kittabantu ekyali e Rwanda mu 1994. Amawulire ge tufunye galaga nti omusajja ono akwatiddwa bw'abadde aliko ebibye byakola ku Rwenzori Towers wano mu Kampala. Poliisi eyakuno n'abakulu mu Ministry y'ensonga z'omunda mu ggwanga bali mu kuteekateeka kutwala musajja ono e Belgium gye yeetaagibwa.
Taddi Kwitonda ow'emyaka 51 okutuusa mu 2021 yali ku kakiiko akabuliriza ku kittabantu ekyali e Rwanda mu 1994. Woofiisi ya kooti ey'enjawulo ku kittabantu ekyali e Rwanda bwe yatandika okumubulirizaako n'agobwa kakiiko kano. Yafuna passport ya Belgium mwaka gwa 2000 ekitegeeza nti mu ggwanga eryo yali afunyeyo obutuuze. Omwaka oguwedde mu mwezi ogw'ekkumi kooti mu Belgium yamuteekako ekibaluwa ekiragira okumukwata bw'atyo n'atandika okwewala abakwasisa amateeka. Okutuuka okukwatibwa mu Kampala olwaleero poliisi badde mu linnya Kagere okuva mu mwezi ogwokuna mu mwaka guno. Kwitonda yakulirako omumyuka wa banki enkulu e Rwanda okutuusa mu 1994. Abantu kumpi 800 battibwa e Rwanda era kigambibwa nti ono omukwate alina ky'amanyi ku ngeri abamu ku bagenzi gye battibwa. Wakuweerezebwa Belgium ekiseera kyonna okuva kati.
Ekibiina ekiri mu kaweefube gw'okugolokosa bannayuganda ku mbeera eriwo mu ggwanga ki National Action for Awakening Uganda kiriko omwana gwe kiyambye abadde alemereddwa okufuna ensimbi ezimutwala okukiikirira eggwanga mu mpaka z'okubala nga zino zigenda kubumbujjira mu ggwanga lya Argentina okutandika ne sabbiiti ejja. Mariam Nyamukuru yagezaako okutuukirira woofiisi enkukunaavu ennyo wano mu ggwanga okusobola okumuyambako okumufunira $22,000 nga zino za kugula tiketi ya nnyonyi emutwala n'okumuzza bwe batyo ne bamusuubiza kyokka ate oluvannyuma ne bamuvaamu. Kino omuwala ono wabula tekyamumalamu maanyi era yatuukirira aba National Action for Awakening Uganda okumuyamba. Abaana abalina okugenda bali 6 kyokka ng'omu ku bo ye ssente zaamubuze era si wa kugenda.
Yakwalifyinga ogenda mu mpaka z'abaana abasoma mathematics, abaana abasoma kubala ezigenda okubeera mu Argentina. Nengeze empaka za nsi yonna abaana bonna abali mu myaka gye bagenda kubeera Argentina. Omwana ono yatambula mu office yonna okuva mu State House President's Office, First Lady's Office, Prime Minister's Office, Parliament nga basaba buyambi. Baana bali 6 nga baagala ogenda ku representing eggwanga lyaffe Uganda. Unfortunately, offices zonna zenjogedde tewali yabayamba.
The Uganda Mathematical Society wrote letters to the President's Office, the First Lady's Office, the Speaker's Office.
Yes.
We asked the Ministry of Education.
What were the responses?
They went direct, as in the President's Office promised to sponsor us, but we've been waiting since, and the First Lady didn't give us any response. They didn't call or send any message.
Ababaka ne bannaceewa abeefunyiridde ku gw'okulwanisa obuli bw'enguzi baagala ebbaga erigenda okukozesebwa okuwamba ebyobugagga by'abakenuzi lizingiremu n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga. Bano era baagala nti omusango gw'okubulankanya ssente z'omuwoomusolo guteekebweko ekibonerezo kya kusibwa mayisa. Bino bye bimu ku birowoozo by'ababaka wamu ne bannaceewa bye baagala biteekebwe mu bbago erigenda okulongoosa mu tteeka ly'obuli bw'enguzi. Jingo Francis n'ebisingawo.
Abaka John Simbo wa Makinde East, owantenjeru Patrick Nsanja n'owa Nakaseke Sempala Mbuga be bateekateeka okulyanja mu Paalamenti. Olwaleero basinkanya bukabannaabwe ne bannaceewa abalwanyisa obuli bw'enguzi ne bawagira ababaka abavuddeyo okuleeta ebbago lino ku lwabwe. Bagamba nti liteekebwemu obuwaayiro obuzingira mu pulezidenti. Amateeka agaliwo kati tegasobola kukozesebwa kumuvunaana okutuusa nga avudde mu ntebe.
My brother, if there will be a provision somewhere, how the institution of the president can be touched about, because it is him even who issues the directives.
Because you can't say it is going to be risky for you when I know at the end of the day I'll go in the armpits of the president and hide there.
Waliwo n'abagamba nti ekibonerezo ekisaanira abakenuzi kya kusibwa mayisa.
And you are causing huge losses of money. Why can't you go for life imprisonment?
Yo mukyala akulira ekitongole ekirwanyisa obuli bw'enguzi Sise Kagaba ayagala kalisolese wa gavumenti alange mu lwatu eby'obugagga by'abakulembeze.
There is need to
for the IGG, for the Inspectorate of Government, to make public the declarations that our leaders declare under the Leadership Code. Because you see, how are we going to know what our leaders possess?
Ye munnamagye General Eri Tumwine naye yeegasse ku bawaka banne okuwagira ebbago lino nti naye akooye obuli bw'enguzi ate nga bwe bwabatwala mu nsiko.
When the president said that we have fought all the other wars except, and we have won all of them except only one, and this is the war against corruption, I said, what? Wars? Yee! There is a song in the Bible which says, when duty calls or danger, be never wanting there. We use this bill to mobilize the whole country and everybody to feel that we have one common position.
Ombaka Simbwa ne banne bateekateeka kusaba sipiika baweebwe oluwummula bagende bateeketeeke ebbago lino nga bakuŋŋaanya ebirowoozo mu bantu oluvannyuma balireete mu paalamenti likubaganyizibweko ebirowoozo. Jingo Francis, NTV Akawungeezi.
Omulimu gw'okutaganjula ettaka eryaziika abantu e Bududa omwezi oguwedde kukyagenda mu maaso era waliwo emirambo emirala ebiri egyaziikuddwa olunaku lw'eggulo naye ekivundu kati ekitandise okusaanikirako ekifo kino kireetedde abali mu kukola omulimu guno okugwekokkola era basabye gavumenti ebawe ebibeetaagisa okugukola obulungi naddala ebyo bikwatira ddala ku bulamu bwabwe nga bo. Mu bye basaba mulimu gloves, obubika ku mimwa n'ennyindo, buyite masks, okossaako ne zigawuni.
Ennaku kati mukaaga bukya kuziikula kutandika naye emirambo ebiri gyokka gye gibadde gyakazuulibwa era ng'abantu abamu essuubi libadde litandise okubaggwamu. Olunaku lw'eggulo waliwo emirambo emirala ebiri okwabadde ogwa Patrick Bwayo ne mukyala we Jessica Wandeka egyazuuliddwa. Kati emirambo ena gye gyakazuulibwa ku bantu 18 ekitongole kya Red Cross bwe kigamba okuba nga amayitire gaabwe tegannamanyika. Ab'obuyinza mu kitundu kino beekokkodde enkola okuba ey'akasoobo so nga bba bakola ogw'okutaganjula ettaka okuggyamu abafu bategeezezza nti kino kivudde ku butaba na bikozesebwa bimala.
Tubadde twagala batuyambe ku gambuuti ne masiki. Lwakuba ekivundu kiyinza okuva eri nekikuba n'obulyanga n'okumutima nga kikoze ki kikwesibye ku mutima.
Babamu ku batuuze bakyaganya ekyokusenguka ate abalala abakkiriza bawadde gavumenti akakwakulizo k'okubatwala awalala etali kirya ndongo.
Babafunira ebifo wansi mu Bududa wano oba mu Mbale oba mu Elgon region babasengule bagende eyo naye batwale eyo wala kubanga baagala bakomewo balime.
The situation calls for very urgent intervention. We have asked them to get out of those dangerous spots. Time is not on our side. My humble prayer to these bosses of mine is that they must do everything knowing very well that time is not on our side. Meteorology has warned us.
Ku nkomerero y'omwezi oguwedde namutiko w'enkuba yafudde emba mu bitundu by'eggwanga ebitali bimu era eno ye yaviirako ettaka mu bitundu by'e Bududa okubumbulukuka ne liziika abantu.
Ebyo bye biri e Bududa mu kiseera kino kati ate katugendeko mu katale k'ensimbi tulabe nga bwe kayimiridde olunaku olwaleero.
Akatale k'ensimbi
All vehicles are required to revalidate their registration.
This is NTV.
Okyali nnyo ku NTV Akawungeezi. Tovaawo oluvannyuma lw'obubaka buno nkomaano agava mu kisaawe ky'ebyemizannyo.
This is NTV. Your Saturday afternoons just got better on NTV with Exposed. Join Cats and the Platinum DJs as they bring you some mad DJ skills and crazy video mixes.
You're now rocking with the best. Catch us every Saturday as we live. We take you through an experience you'll never forget.
Remember to call in with your music requests and also get a chance to win some incredible goodies. That's every Saturday from 1:30 p.m. only on NTV, the station that digs your music. Saturday afternoons just got better on NTV.
NTV Akawungeezi n'amawulire agava mu nsiike y'ebyemizannyo. Obutabaawo na ssente zimala kulemesezza abaddusi ba kuno abagenda okwetaba mu mpaka za Olympics okufuna okutendekebwa okumala. Bano babadde balina enteekateeka y'okugenda e Kabale mu mbeera efaanaganira mu kko ddala n'eye London awagenda okubeera empaka zino naye tebisobose.
Others in another center in Eldoret. We have some in Buko, the others in Wen and Kapchoro. So we felt we could bring them to one camp.
Muna Uganda Isaac Senyange eyakazibwako erya Zebra asuubiza okugunda muna Kenya Patrick Amote agakonde ganaalwawo ng'alojja. Ababiri bano bakwambala ganaalona ku lwanca era olwaleero lwe beepimyemu okumanya buli omu obuzito bw'alina.
Ebino ebintu bya science wa bikonde bagezako okusala bukodyo kufuna sente oba kulaga nti bo bali balungi nnyo bafune ekisa bafune sympathy okuva mu bantu bagambe yiko sajja kale kapima kilo ntono ne mu boxing tekibayi ng'okujja kungeri title fight.
Tukebedde ebinywa omutima n'amawuggwe byonna nga biri bulungi n'ebinyayo by'olubuto nga tulina omwena alina buzibu bw'asanga oba bw'ajja kusisinkana ng'azanya.
This is NTV.
NTV Akawungeezi bwetyo bwegenze. Tetugenda kusobola batuusaako ntebereza ya budde olwakadde okutuulira empinga. Bwentyo mbasiibulidde wano NTV Tonight egenda kubeerawo ku ssaawa 3 togisubwa beerawo ojoote buliro. Ndi Hatimana Lugwasekaya mbagaliza eggandalo lya Sabbiiti eddungi mwekumire ku NTV mweraba.
Akwera embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu mama
bano abasajja bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
sogera byange tubanda bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bwagala nkubulira ebyange ja tugende emyanzi
mpulira abanyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinnaasi
embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu mama
bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
sogera byange tubanda bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bwagala nkubulira ebyange ja tugende emyanzi
mpulira abanyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinnaasi South Africa baba bakujerega bituufu
baba banjerega oyo mufere mubbi
era y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu mama
bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
sogera byange
kubanda bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bwagala nkubulira ebyange ja tugende emyanzi
mpulira abanyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinansi South Africa baba bakujerega obituufu
baba banjerega oyo mufere mubbi yennyini yeetaaga miggo omuntu wa bulijjo tomuzanyirangako abeeranga dormant volcano
bwemba mukkiriza nina takuwa mugiyita
ate takuwa gobeera mugoberezi tolowooza nti muli mulimo oyogerera omusiraamu singa naakubuuza nti katonda yagamba atya
oba oli pasita ng'okyawa olimba obba oyenda olina abakazi basatu please heaven is waiting for you one day you'll pay and soon your time is out
otiisa mmoni
sitiisa nkubuulira yesu talimba
ebintu mbimala mulundi gumu kati what is I love peace
gwokola bi
wegase n'omusajja mutwale mabi
era y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu
This is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV.
kutwegattako nze Frank Alisimbi. Now, do not think the week was wacky. Otherwise, this could even be more wacky. I tell you, ebintu bitambula bulungi. Weewaawo awamu bitambula bubi naye nzikiriza nti mu mbeera yonna tujja genda mu maaso. Katonda ajja kutulaba nga tubiyitamu. Olwaleero ku bench ninawo omusajja omu ku bannabyabufuzi kaŋŋambe bwe ntyo naye nga n'ebyafaayo abitegeera bulungi. Musajja ekibiina kya Conservative Party mu 1966 olwaleero abakimanyi kikulirwa omusajja Ken Lukyams kati member mu Parliament owa Lubaga gwenina olwaleero ye Ashe James Ssekajja agenda kutubuulira olugendo lw'ebyobufuzi nga bwe yalukwata okuva lwegattako mu 1959 olwaleero gwenina nkwaniriza Joseph
nange wentesengesa okukusanga
webale kujja
bale kunyaniriza
emirimu gigenda gitya
gitambula bwe gityo
banyumizanga Ssekajja nga ndowooza oba omusajja ono afaanana atya olina emyaka emeka
kaakati nga ngenda mu myaka 8
ddala togirabika omuntu wakulaga muzeeyo
kulya bulungi
ali mu myaka nga 6
anti ndi akawunga kattamuna ne mukene anti betwasigaza kati okulya empuuta kati tulyamu magumba tulengera nnengere
bigenda bitya
bitambula bulutyo
owaye tubuulire Conservative Party walolo mwali mukayana ne Ken Lukyams
yesebo
ani yatandika Conservative Party sibanga abantu mbagambye bikyamo
nze ntandika ddala Conservative Party kenaku z'omwezi 3 January 1966
3 January
yes 1966
tuli myaka emeka olukati
kakati je nali mpeza ngo banga abiri awo ndowooza banga abiri kuba nanyira ebyobufuzi nga akyali muto naye olwokuba nti
kiki ebbugumu olijjawo
ebbugumu nti waliwo abataka waliwo makadde bange jjajjange James Kiwanuka yazaalanga maama mu kiteeti kaawo abataka bebakuŋŋaaniranga babbu mwabawulirako bataka bbu
waliwo nga weebali
naliwo nga weebali
ng'ondabyeko ebintu
ewa jjajjange awo ne namba 8 n'okwokya amayumba ago namba 9 era nga mbiraba wendi otegedde kuba abantu banyiiga nnyo nga baagala okwefuga baagala okutunda pamba waabwe abalimi kutunda emmwanyi nga bakooya abazungu n'abayindi okubabba
omanyi tugenda mu meefuga
emyaka 5
emyaka gigenda kukwera 50
esebo
abantu abato abali ebweru abatulaba abasinga tebamanyi ddala kyaliwo transition ya Uganda kyukakyuka eyo yajja etya 62 naye byaliwo emabegaawo abantu bangamba baagala nnyo okubitegeera naye before CPN ogitandise nga wali muto bano abaliwo kye bava
tebakulabawo
ekyava batandabo naye neera butabutamanya bwabwe kubanga nze kennyini nze abamu nze nabatuusa ne mbuyinza nga lukyamuzi senga saalinze oyo Keni senga saalinze yandibadde tagiraki
kiki kyewakolawo ekyamaanyi
kaakati ekyama okutandikawo sipi kwegamba mu 19 mu nkaaga mu mukaaga awo mu February awo Oweekitiibwa Dr. Milton Obote yali afuga Uganda mu kiseera ekyo nga ye Katikkiro yayagala okwera ekibakabaka yekka yali mu kiseera ekyo Kewaayi kaakati bw'agenda okwera Kewaayi olw'okubanga nze mbiseera bembegako mu mwaka gwa 59 nze omu ku basajja abaalwana okufuga kwa Uganda katulwanyisa Abangereza nali muvubuka nali nkyasoma na mu Lubiri kiseera ekyo nali Lubiri secondary school era nze omu ku batandika Lubiri mu 56 nze omu ku bamutandikirawo ddala Lubiri abayizi abaasookamu nze omu ku batandikirawo ddala gundi Lubiri secondary school kakati mu kiseera emabega kaawa katwagala ogoba Abangereza twalina munnaffe Augustine namukadde kamya bayitangawo mbitooke
nawulira Nasa Sebagala
kati omusajja oyo omu ku baali beetamiddwa Abangereza kati omusajja oyo kyava agamba banne bano abasooka mu bibiina by'obufuzi abaali bakulu nga Musaazi yes gundi Jolejo Kiwanuka musajja Binaayisa Godfrey Kongwa Binaayisa Paulo Muwanga egamba Daudi Sekuma Kamya abasajja abayina abali batadde ebibiina by'obufuzi kwegamba n'abalala twegatte wamu tusobole okulwanyisa abazungu kubanga emabega eri abataka bajja ne bakola okugoba abayindi mu by'obusuubuzi noka nti Bungereza eteera Uganda obwetwaze bwayo kakati babakwatanga ne babasiba ebyo ne bizikira otegedde
simanyi bavaayo mu makomera oluvannyuma
baavaayo mu makomera kakati oluvannyuma gundi Kamya kyavaga nti bannange mujja tugire ki twegatte ebibiina tujja tuteeka ku bbali tumale okulwanyisa kino kyetwagala n'oluvannyuma tudda mu bibiina byaffe ebyobufuzi ye muzungu n'omuyindi kubanga ono omuyindi yali mwana wa Mungereza Omungereza yamuleeta yagira ku mugugu akati yes mu kiseera ekyo Kamya n'ayita abeebibiina by'obufuzi bonna akati ne tugenda mu White Nile nze nva mu Lubiri nali nkyasoma ow'ekibuye otegedde yes yali yamaanyi nnyo wabula kyannaku nnyo kola kati nga bagenda okugimenyawo
oyo 58
kati fene tugenda netukuŋŋaana
olwo simanyi osoma
nga nkyasoma ndi nzija ne mu bino yetegedde kakati mu kiseera ekyo kyava agamba nti kakati bannange twagala tulwanyisa Abangereza bano kubanga batumedde ku mugongo awo waliwo n'omwami omu bamitanga Kimbowa yali abeera mu Buyindi gyali asomedde n'akomawo kyavaga nti batwagala okugoba omuzungu tujja kuteeka boyikooti ku bintu byonna bikolebwa Abayindi n'ebintu byabwe n'amaduuka tugavire nga Gandi
mwandiguzeewo olwo si be baali basinga
awo twali tugamba nti ebikisa jja kutuuka ebyo tubyeddize era ekyo kyakolebwa kaakati abasajja ne tukuŋŋaana kutuusa lwe twanyoonya erinnya ly'ekibiina kituneegattiramu kaakati Musaazi yali azze n'ekibiina kye Uganda National Congress kyekyali ekibiina kye kyeyagiramu yes omugenzi Eridadi Muliira najja Progressive Party kyekyali ekibiina kye najja n'abantu be kaakati gundi Daudi Sekuma Kamya yali akulembera Uganda Labour Party kaakati Godfrey Kongwa Binaayisa najja United National Party kyono kyali kyabannamateeka baloya era kyekyalimu negundi Oweekitiibwa Joseph Mayanja Nkanji otegere ekyo ekyali ekibiina kye kyeyatandikawo mu nkaaga otegedde kaakati mu kiseera ekyo netukola ekibiina kimu ekyatibwanga Uganda National Movement ekiba kyamaanyi kaakati Augustine Kamya n'alondebwa okukola President General w'ekibiina ekyo kaakati Musaazi n'amumyuka twalina Paulo Muwanga n'abeera omuwandiisi omukulu w'ekibiina nange Sekajja ayogera naawe nze nali mumyuka we ndowooza nalina emyaka oba nga 18 awo
bakulabyemu kiwali abo basajja baali
anti gundi Kamya twali tutambula ffenna ne tukola kampeni kwa nti tuteeka okuteekawo
omukwatira ensawo obanga
ayo oli muganda wange nenga ddala ate nekya nali nnyo nga njagala nnyo ebyamawulire kubaawo mu kiseera ekyo we twali walingawo Uganda eyogera Uganda empya
taifa yali esse
yafuuka bufuusa nti yali Uganda empya nefuuka taifa empya nga Agakani amaze okugigula omanyi kati lubadde olupapula lwa Agakani otegedde kakati mu kiseera ekyo gwe twalinawo Dr. Muwazi yali minisita
owandiika
yenga mpandiika
otambula ne kamya bwa byayogedde komawo kuba mukyapa
nga mba mukyapa nali w'amaanyi muganda wange akati Dr. Muwazi yali minisita mu gavumenti y'Emmengo nga wa byabulamu getwalanda okubeera omuwanika bagana abalala baali bangi nnyo betwali nabo abaalondebwa mu kiseera ekyo okulembera ekibiina kya Uganda National Movement otegedde kakati nga tumaze okuteekateeka tutandise n'okutambula ebweru tukoze kampeyini mu Uganda yonna ne tukomawo
mutambula mutyo olwo
tutambule mu mmotoka zaaliwo kamya alina eyiye Ford musaaza alina
banga temwavuganga mmotoka zino nkadde za
babasajja baalinawo n'abaali akati mu kiseera kyo tumala okukomawo Ssekabaka Muteesa owookubiri n'atuyita n'atamu musajja we Muwazi kubanga yali omuwanika waffe ate ye minisita ebyobulamu mu gavumenti ya Ssaabasajja Kabaka n'aga nti njagala mumpitire abantu abo bajje tumale okuteesaamu Uganda National Movement kubanga ne Ssaabasajja yali amaze okukomawo mu buwaŋŋangusi mu 55 ate nga naye ekyamusibisa kwali okulwanirira okwefuga kw'eggwanga lye
yagana be baali bamusaba
yes yagana
bamugaba muwe paundi
nabigana yali yagala anti no si kyekyo yagamba Gavana Cohen n'amugamba nti omuntu bw'akyata akyaluka bajjajjange bakola endagaano ez'okutukuuma ye abafu omuntu bw'omukuuma okukuuma kulikoma ddi n'agala kati endagaano ziteeka okukoma twefuge twabayita kutukuuma awo wava kale nsambulira webitandikira ebyo ffe tekyali kyakugira ki otegedde kakati naye n'atuyita nagamba nange nsanyuse nnyo
olwo UNM yeringa
FOC yes yerinako yes bwe kityo naye yali yamaanyi nnyo kakati bwe tumala okutula ne Ssekabaka Muteesa owookubiri nagamba nina emyenge mingi ne banne nakola ntya kubanga nange sinza kubaliga ekkubo lyemukuterero nange lyembadde njagala ennyo era eryantusa n'okujja kine tunywere kakati munafa mu lubiri lw'Emmengo Emmengo mu makage kakati munnaffe gundi bamuyitanga Aji Busungu Kasirye sajja yali w'amaanyi nnyo kyavaaga nti Ssaabasajja ffe tetukuganye kunywa myenge gyo naye gg'onolaba kyogira ki kyokola n'aga nti no kyenja okukola sinza kwawukana emyenge n'agyogoba mu lubiri n'agiwa abantu bene baginywa gyonna etandise olwo n'aga nti nja kunywa mwenge muganda byonna agigobye byonna bamugobye era yo ensonga emulwaki ku Tonto era yo ensonga emulwaki Gavana Cohen yanyigira nnyo Kabaka ne gavumenti y'Emmengo ennyo era kyova olaba nti obutagula gavumenti ya Uganda yasala ku gavumenti ya Ssaabasajja Kabaka miliyoni 5 mu kiseera ekyo yalinga egy'okukola emirimu wakiwulirako kakati Abaganda olw'omutima gwe baalina nga baagala Kabaka waabwe n'eggwanga lyabwe nga boolaba kakati Abaganda bakumujja Kabaka awo booleza omuntu alifuga Uganda wano ateekwa okwagala nnyo Kabaka ne Uganda ne Buganda neetegereza kati mu kiseera ekyo gundi gavana kyava asala miliyoni 5 ku Buganda
yazisalako naye ojja kutubulira ekyaddako
nja kubabulira ekyaddako yes kakati nti Abaganda awo ne basonda ssente emyezi 3
nawulirako nti basonda n'ezapangisa ennyonyi
myezi 3 ne bamusonda miliyoni 5 ne bazizaawo
tukyagenda maaso netuwaye ndi ne James Sekajja musajja mukulu eyatandikawo ekibiina kya Conservative Party mu 1966 atunyumiza ebimu ku byaliwo nga Uganda ebuzaayo akaseera katono yefuge mu 1962 katukomewo katugende mu maaso ndine mzee James Kajowai
wanje sebo
abaganda basonze milioni
5
teri bya governor kuba
manyi
Buganda
gati gwani
abantu balinga bakozi
nnyo ate
milioni 5 kumulwenda nkaga
atano mwende kinani byonna nkaga wonna ate nga sente zakolanga mu Uganda yonna zavanga mu Buganda kubanga Buganda yali nimi ya pamba nimi ya mwanyi
ngena n'abakozi abasasu
yes era sente zakola mu Uganda zavanga mu Buganda
so emirimu ebulange mengo tejayimirira
tejayimirira ko
governor asazeyo ko
tejayimirira
mukolera wa national movement
twali katwawo
mukola wokutuwaka yenna kwezi
ebyo nga bete biriwo tebena kutandika
mukoze boycott
yes katumala okutandika tekabaka tumaze okutugamba yetaaga netulangirira boycott tugamba nti kakati abantu bonna bateekwa obutaddayo kugula bintu matuka g'abayindi okunywa emyenge okola lisensi z'amaduuka
ngoye mwayamba abayindi be bali batongo
ebyo byonna twagamba nti kisagenda kutuuka tugire ki kubanga ni mu buyindi abayindi balangira boycott ku bintu by'abazungu batuuka n'okwesiba endoobi otegedde babizira byonna naffe netugamba nti okay buli butana tubigize eki tubizize era ekintu ekyo byonna twabiwera otegedde ekiseera ekyo abantu yeseba
abantu mwali mubagamba mutya waliwo radio kiki
kwegamba twalina empapula ze twakolanga era twazikoleranga katwe endala nga ziterekebwa wange mu maka gange
katwe waliyo printer kuva
waliwo yes byali
nze nali manti yali kisubiwo
byaliwo
mugende katwe waline
twalina style twanyolanga kakati empapula ezo twaziwanga bano abatakisi tuvuga kati gwe kikiteka oba ogenda huyuma kitwale bw'otuuka waliwo abalungi ng'ojja okisunulako nga empapula esigalamu ki abagenda eggulu abagenda lira abagenda wa abagenda Masaka wa yonna bibika nayo nga bimanyi kuganga omenye takisi babagenda egini awo ogenda okutuuka egiri nga poliisi egamba nti bayiye ebipapula eno tujja kubutanisa kakati awo ate eyabangereza n'abaddugavu mwe bali baali batono naye basinga baali bagoowa n'abazungu ekibooko zaaliwo eneti ya gasi yaliwo esiwa gose yaliwo naye
waliwo ekitegezo ya kinyumiza yanimba yaŋŋamba mbwe kyalesa tiya gasi bawagizi ba mupiira nakivube
movement era yavaako n'empapula z'amawulire nga wegatuba akantu ke wetumala okulangirira ku muti ogw'eddembe ku paaka enkadde awo nasinsi yali amaze okugira ki gwalinga waggulu awo yes awali omuti ogw'eddembe otyo kakati ayo tukola boyo okulangirira kati buli muntu eyavaawo yennange bitusaasaanye kakati awo waliwo omuze bamitanga basap yali akulira poliisi n'alagira ne bakuba abantu ebinanka ne bayiwa gundi tiyagasi era omusaayi mungi ogwayiika empapula ne zikuba ebifaananyi enkeera ng'emisaayi abantu batuuka emisaayi era empapula zonna gavumenti
mukulembera muyita mu kibuga muline muzeeyi bidandi awo
abo bamudandi bajja luvannyuma nnyo bali baluvannyuma nnyo bamudandi gundi ono ayeko katikkiro wa Uganda ani Kintu Musoke bano bagundi mayanja nkanji teyatandikirawo tuline bakamya abo Musaazi bamulira ba Paulo Muwanga binayiisa kugamba abantu baali bangi nnyo kakati mu kiseera ekyo emigga egisookera nti Agasti 59 kati okutuusa abantu ne bakwatibwa ne bakwata Paulo Muwanga binayiisa Musaazi Elizafani Mawaji Mulira Edward Kitayimbwa Olufinnabanze tugenda ate okujja tutakiriza empapula ziri ebiwandiiko biri kakati waliwo gundi Asani Mulongooti waliwo Busungu waliwo Yosiya Sekabanja kwegatwali abantu 11 abakwatibwa 14 be bakwatibwa kuteekebwa mu makomera okutoola Uganda kati n'oluvannyuma nange nenkwatibwa
bakusanga waggwe
akati bansanga wange nali nzizeeyo kwegamba nsoosa okudduka bane bamaze okubakwata
osulawo olwo
ndi katwawe mmengaawo ku lubiri awo emmengaawo waali amaka gange otegedde kaakati bwe mba nzizeeyo olwo waliwo omuzibu bamuyitanga yali akulya bambege bamuyitanga Mountain waliwo omusajja bamuyitanga Makunege yali musajja munna Kenya waliwo n'omuganda omulala nerabidde erinnya lye
bakuteekako abampembe
banteekako abampembe kaakati bankwata ne batukuba eruzira akatoyi gye batujja ne batugabanyaamu nze natwalibwa Kotido mu Kalamojja Binayesa Moloto bano bannange Muliira Musaazi bane ne batwalibwa Soloti
kikyo lwaki babaawulamu
tugatuleme kubeera wamu otegedde bagenda batusaasanya bwe batyo
abajja babalambuliriza makomera nabo bafune
ekizibu akali biseera kijja kulwisaayo okutuusa ng'ebiseera biyiseewo nkaaga mugumu gavumenti ya Bungereza naye emaze okutumatira kubanga CP Uganda National Movement kyekibiina ekyatuusa Uganda ku bwetwaze kubanga twanyigiriza abayindi ne badduka ne bagenda ne Nairobi ne badduka mu Uganda abali byalo bonna ne bavaayo otegedde kaakati oluvannyuma ennyo ne tukomawo tetugende tutandika mu nkaaga mu ogumu otegedde okutuusa gavumenti ya Bungereza n'eya Buganda n'ebeera kati okwefuga gye kutandikira
babataawo olwo nga tekinnabaawo mukomera mwamalayo ebbanga
nze namalayo mwaka gumu n'emyezi 4
wawoza
ng'ate waliwo owowoleza byava dda tewali wowoleza
bakuteeka buteese
kaakano ngeri gitwanyigiriza ennyo kaakati kwe kutuvaayo ntandika okuba ebyokuteesa kali n'abagenda ebungereza London conference olwo ne bagenda otegedde bakanyiza eri tusere bakomawo ne tuweebwa olunaku olw'ekitobba 9 kwegamba abazungu basooka ne banyoonya mu kiseera ekyo olunaku olw'omwenda kiki kyetugenda okujjukirako ekyamaanyi lunaku byafaayo mu Uganda kwe kunyoonya olunaku olw'omwenda Okitobba Ssekabaka Muteesa ow'olubereberye lwe yafiirako yafanga mwenda Okitobba 1884 otegedde eyo yensonga ero nze olunaku olw'Okitobba 9 kakati nga tumaze
balugattako nekino ekinene
kakati banga tumaze okugira ki okufuna obwetwaze bwaffe ibaliwo
nalaba otambula ne fayiro
abirana sibigize batuwekuga baliwo abantu bayinza okugamba nti omusajja ono kakati zino
ebyapa bino ebyedda bino
wali bakonoka mbadde njagala mulabeko nzize munansonyiwa bannange ati munna ebintu bimanyi bigenda bigira ki olumu ku zino ebatuwaako twafunira obwetwaze bwaffe 62 waliwo n'obutabo bwenkyalina akati wano kako twafuna Independence 3 kakati awo kakati kano katabeera ketukyalina akamusizi omuli ebyafaayo bya Uganda babiragira otegedde kati ojja kulabanga wano kakati omuntu alaba kekano nga tugenda okufuna obwetwaze bwe buntu batuwa abagenda okugira ki oba bagenda okuyingira mu gundi z'ennaku zino ne programu yes
okunabeera ebintu nga
ngugula otako tokalina nnyo n'amaanyi
kyasooka fanfare for freedom ceremonial trumpeters of the Uganda police and the Tanganyika police leero of the toy soldiers
eryali kume lya Bungereza
bakolamu abo
bayolesaamu
display of the 3rd regiment royal
kati naawo ebitebe byakitiibwa nnyo era ffe awo twalina ekitiibwa kyamaanyi
olwo tuddewa
mu maaso gwennyini ku front line ng'abaserikale abalwana nnyo bendera eka ya Uganda erinnya batuwa ekitiibwa kyali kyamaanyi nnyo twogeddeko mu waliwo n'ebirala byesigize eki
omugenzi kakoma naye yaliwaawo
yaliwo nnyo
luyimba lwendula
balutadde mu Luganda ne mu Lungereza baluteeka mu Lungereza ne mu Luganda
musizi olwo awandiika ki olwo
kakati abo balaga ebyafaayo Uganda byezeeyitamu
musizi yagulanga
siringi emu
era olupapula lw'amawulire olulimu ddala ebyomugaso byewetaaga
mu 5
eno yali issue 88 Oktoba 1962
yes bakulaga
awandiise ku page kyolu okwefuga bakuwandiise ku
kakole jako kati bakulaga wana ebintu ebyaliwo ebintu ebyaliwo mu kiseera ekyo ebikulu
abantu balanganga ebyokulanga
kati waliwo balugadi kati ekibuga Kampala nga bekyali kifaana agwege maka ye Lubaga kyekibuga Muteesa kyasooka okutandika ddala mu Uganda kakati omuvudde bino byonna kati ebisaasaanya eno kyekyali ekibuga ekikulu mu Uganda ate Muteesa yatandikawo omusingi gw'ekibuga Kampala ekyasookera ddala kati
musizi ono alabika yatunda
nnyo kubanga alaga biki ebyali birungi nnyo kakati munnange bwe tuva eyo nga tumaze okwefuga kakati abo tutandika nga tugenda mu maaso kakati ate nga 26 fe Okitoba ntandikayo ekibiina kya Uganda Farmers Voice
kino kyempulira ennaku zino
ekyabalimi ekyo kiri gundi yali akiweze Obote
kiki
kugamba nti ebibiina ebyali bimulwanyisa otegedde
mwefuula abeegasi mu byobulimi
naye kugamba omanyinga ebyobulimi yali abikyayidde ddala kabe bantu n'obugagga tubagala abantu bagaggawale kakati muli kuteekawo Uganda Farmers Voice kakati otujja tutandika tujja kati mbiseera ebyo 63 awo kagamba kintu kairi kintu erikatekera Buganda namusika olesempa ne bampita ne bampita kwegamba lengeri gye nali maze okutambula Uganda nga tira abantu bamanyi bulungi nnyo amaanyi ngalina ndi muntu wa kitiibwa ne baŋŋamba okugenda ne bantwala mu kirongole kya poliisi kwegamba nnyambengako ku Ssaabasajja Kabaka gy'anaabanga agenze
okuusa owa protocol tukomewo olindako ojja kutandikira tukyagenda maaso ne tuwaye ndi ne muzeeyi Ssekaggya James omu ku bannabyabufuzi abagundiivu wano era omutandisi wa Conservative Party katugende maaso ne muzeeyi Ssekaggya oba bakutadde mu poliisi erabirira entambula za Kabaka
yagenda ngwala bakatikkiro bamuwanika
olozze ku ddaala kikopolo olyani
nze ndi abwentu mu kitiibwa kyange
civilian yebuuzibwako
kakati oluvannyuma nga ebintu bitandise okutabuka Kabaka Obote bakyateganagana na Ssaabasajja Kabaka kati awo ne baweera ekibiina kya Kabaka Obote naweera ekibiina kya Kabaka yekka mu January 16 bwaweera ekibiina ekyo olw'okubanga bwetulali nga nvudde mu buwaŋŋanguse nagendako e Nairobi ne Mwami Kamya omugenzi ne Elizafani Mawaji nomwe bampitanga Kiggundu yali mukoddomi wa Mwami Kamya kati wentuuka e Nairobi nengulayo ekitabo mu matundiro g'ebitabo nengula ekitabo ekitibwa British Commonwealth amatwale ga Bungereza n'ebibiina by'obufuzi otegedde bwengula ekitabo kyali kirungi nnyo bwensomamu kwekusangamu gavumenti ya Bungereza engeri gye yafugibwamu gye yafugangamu abantu n'amatwalo ago n'ebibiina by'obufuzi kwekusangamu ekibiina kya Conservative Party nga kyekibiina ky'obufuzi ekyasooka ddala mu Bungereza mu 1807 eyo otegedde era nga bakiteekawo okulwanyisa omusajja bamita Cromwell yali musajja mudaaki yali musajja mudaaki yali mulwanyi nnyo gamba yasaanya obwakabaka bwa Bungereza natta kabaka wa Bungereza natta n'abafuzi abalala ne Bungereza n'agira kinagisaanyaawo kakati oluvannyuma nga naye amaze okufa ne bateekawo Conservative Party okukuuma ebyobugagga bwa Bungereza ebyennono bya Bungereza ettaka kabaka wa
okulabanga values za Conservative Party
yes
nawe zoyina mu birowoozo
otyo
owulira kyoyagala
yes kakati kugaba nange waliwo Mwami Victor Kiwanuka Yosia Mayanja Hippolyte Kiyingi waliwo Omwami Ziwa waliwo Wilson ziwa Kyamagwa, waliwo twali muka
mwagala okutandika kibiina mu
tugenda tulabisa abasajja Kabaka gundi Kabaka yekaba mwezi
engeri gye bawezeke
ate abantu tebaagala DP tebaagala UPC akole kutuukeresa era Kabaka yennyini n'abeera
yali akwagala
nnyo kubanga ne twali kyali mu movement
ani yali Katikkiro olwo
ngumanya ukitamanya Jankanki yali Katikkiro akale Kabaka nakkiriza ne tulonda ne Amos Kale Sempa yali president general wache yasooka n'abalala ne bajjanga bagira ki
ekirowoozo gwennyini kirowoozo wabula ofunye banno
yes kakati 3 mu January n'ekirangirira obutongole 66 otegedde awo Conservative Party wegira ki wetandikira
otagambya ati olwo
kakati Obote bwamanya nti Kabaka yalimu olwo n'abaka bali mu lukiiko Mengo nabo bazze n'abantu abalala batewegaseeko tutambudde Uganda tutandise okutambula Uganda yonna begamba amatabi agaali agakewa gayingidde mu CP abalimi nabo aba Uganda Farmers Voice kakati Obote namanya nti kiki kakati Ssaabasajja Kabaka 24 May balumbira ki olubiri akali naffe tubanga tusaasaanye kakati mu 6 nga 2 December Obote nawera CP nawera n'ebibiina by'obufuzi byonna ebyaliwo mu kiseera ekyo kakati oluvannyuma bukinana
bakiwandiisa CP baali
yes
registra yalingawa
mu Kampala mwe yalinga
ebbaluwa yammwe
kakati awo mu kinana ekati etuvuddeyo budde nga ebugenze mu kinana wekitwa Mayanja Nkanja ansanga
kinana emyaka gyali giyiseewo
kinana wano jjo hagati waiti nzoze nekola twaga tutandika ekyo ky'obufuzi tugenda okulonda tuleme kunyigirizibwa mugato si kirungi nnyo nga twakugu tujja kusinkana twagenda mu office ye naone munnange Samuel Kalodi Buto Kyoto tuteeza ku by'ekibiina kati ngamba Mayanja Nkanja tya tulina Uganda Conservative Party tujja kuze ekyo naga nti tugende ekyo kubanga ekiki kyali United National Party kyali kya Mayanja Nkanja kyali atandisewo mu nkaaga kyavaga tugende n'ekyo tutandikawo ekibiina ekyo kati tugenda okutuuka tulabe engeri gye tukiyisaamu ndese ne bannange bwe twali mu kibiina ekyo abakadde kakati kyavaga tugende tuyibanyonyi tujje tulangirire otegedde nampa ne ssente kati mba ngenze Masaka eyo waliwo omukwano gwe bamuyitanga Mirugwe Yowaana Mirugwe yali mbaka mu lukiiko Mengo ngenze mulabe tutandika okutalaaga eyo tuleete bannange wa Mayanja Nkanja mpa ne ssente tuba tukyali egindi Masaka nga Mayanja Nkanja alangira nga bataddewo Conservative Party luli bwe twatula naye bwe twatula naye tugamba tinoti ye Mayanja Nkanja yaga tinoti ekibiina kino Uganda People's Congress ne Uganda Conservative Party bijja kutabula abantu bajja kugira ki kutabula kakati katutekewo tujjeko Uganda tutekewo CP tulekewo CP Uganda Conservative Party CP tujigize tujijewo
musigaza CP
kati munnange mba ngenze nyonye banna mabulire twekita Mayanja Nkanja ataddewo kibiina kya Conservative Party kakati mwami Sempa Kalule yakulemera ebibiina 66 n'omwami Edward Musoke Bikowe yabagamba kanti tokola ensobi kulangirira CP nga Soka jataliwo yateekawo CP okoze ensobi kakati ati Mayanja Nkanja ne yeekuba endobo n'agamba nti tulangiridde CP naye ekibiina kino 66 kyaliwo era kyalwanyisa nnyo Obote bwe yajjawo Obwakabaka n'enfuga ya Federal otegedde akati awo bwe mpulire bwe nenkomawo mu Kampala omutandika okulwanagana waliwo okulonda okwali kugenda okubeera mu Nakasero Secondary School
teyagamba nti owange nabadde nkoze
leko ga musajja muzibu nnyo mukwano gwange musajja mulokole era byenjogera bino njagala biwule kubanga yatuzze tugira kinga mulabula yakola ensobi nnene nnyo oluvannyuma kakati ebyava mu kyo kakati
kakodyo kabyafuzi
kabyafuzi naye Katonda najja Katonda muzibu nnyo
wandaza olupapula wano
era nja yes kakati ebyo kankati njja kwolekera opapula luno simanyo bambi luno kankati njagala sibo kama wayi goli musajja muyivu nnyo njagala osome akantu ake ensi yonna neewulire okomaawo vaawo ojja kukomaawo kasootuka wali kasootuka wali gundi bw'otuuka wali gundi katenta apuuli ng'okoma kati sooka ove waggulu awo.
The Constitution of the Conservative Party.
Yes.
Article 1, Preamble. Whereas the Conservative Party was launched in April 1980, after the existence of a similar party in January 1966/7, and ushered on the Uganda political scene as a new party by J.S. Mayanja Nkanji, Ashes James Ssekajja, Stephen Katenta Apuli, budde lukwago
amusempa omulesa amusempa kuddwa twali kugamba bantu twali tugenda okutemagamba abantu ape kubali bonna bonna baafa akatirekera awo ne bw'otogende wala nnyo kaakati bw'osoma akatundu nkagamba nti waliwo ekibiina ky'obufuzi Conservative Party ekyatandikibwayo ekipya mu Uganda
balaga kiri nti weewaawo waliwo kino kye boogera
kaakati wali mu Luganda katwogere mu Luganda bagire ki bawulire ddala mu Luganda kigamba nti newankubadde ekibiina kya Conservative Party kyaggulwawo mu butonde 1998 oluvannyuma lw'ekibiina kyekimu ekyali kitandikiddwawo nga January 1996 ku musingi gw'ebibiina by'obufuzi mu Uganda ekyazzibwawo abakungu bano wammanga Owekitiibwa Mayanja Nkanji, Mwami Asa James Ssekajja, Owekitiibwa Amos Kalule Sempa n'abalala.
Ekyo yebwina akakasa.
Yebwina akakasa.
Lwaki Lukyamuzi yali ate naye avuddeyo?
Lukyamuzi kwagamba
yafaayo yali abyerabidde.
Kubanga zino ne bolo za Lukyamuzi nnyingi nnyo. Otegedde. Guzi Owekitiibwa Mayanja Nkanji yali abagobi. Ngannyonnyola nti Ssekajja gwe watandika Mayanja Nkanji yali abagobi mu kibiina ye Owekitiibwa Nsubuga Nsambu waliwo Mayinja Koseya Sewanyana akubira Lukyamuzi. Lukyamuzi n'ampandiikira ebbaluwa tisebo Mwami Ssekajja gwatandika ekibiina kya Conservative January 1996 Mayanja Nkanji talina buyinza kutogoba mu kibiina kola kyonna ekisoboka ojje otuyambe yes ebbaluwa weeri kati tuvuga nti wali mulalu
oba waliwo akasente ke babaweereza
bamuwa ssente era kaako emisala kino tumulwanyisa tujjewo afunye ssente nnyingi z'ekibiina tatuyambye era nga mikugambye nti kati twatandika wofeesi sajja yeja najjamu entebe n'azibba fayiro azitutte ye bibuti misango gina ku poliisi eyo twamuwaabira ajjewo ebyenakani ebipande by'ekibiina toyinza kugenda n'ojja entebe mu ofeesi n'ozijjamu n'ozitwala abantu banaatuulawa kakati tugamba okulonda tabyagala atwaba tugenda okulonda ngebule ennaku bbiri yagera n'awaaba omusango nti abalangidde okulonda si batuufu otegedde nga ati naye ekibiina emyaka gye jaggwako 5 jaggwako dda
kyogamba abeesibako
abantu esibako bwesibi tayagala tulonde
founder lwaki ekintu tokyezza
okutayaddiza ate kati twagala kulonda abakulembeze abapya
emyaka tebakyakukkiriza
nze saagala bwagazi kakati mwabavubuka bunaakola ki nze nazaala omwana teboozaala omwana ate gwogera
tukwayanziza nnyo Mwami Ssekajja webale kujja
yesebo
emboozi yo mpanvu naye tukyanyumya ku byafaayo bya Uganda
yesebo
nga tetunnatuuka mefuga
yesebo
tugenda kuweza myaka 5
yesebo
tujja kuba tubeebuuzaako nnyo abantu nga mwe bingi bye tukyayagala okumanya
yesebo
tetuyinza bimalayo mu ddakiika zino asatu ana kibeera kizibu
tujja kubanyonyola kakati wala mu kiseera kino kyanjagadde okwogerako tulina omukolo ogw'okubeerawo nga 3 omwezi guno ogwa Juni okujjukira emyaka 176 Kasookedde Ssekabaka Muteesa Ow'Olubeberye azaalibwa nga 3 June 1836
omukolo
guli ku kkanisa Empereero Church of Uganda ku Metro ku luguudo lw'Egayaza ne Ssaabasajja Kabaka twamusaba okubeerako ku mukolo ogwo tannaba kutuddamu tuyisa abantu bangi nnyo namwe era tugenda kubaaniriza
tuyanza sebo
yesebo
Mukama kulembere ng'oddayo
amiina
mubeere bulungi
yesu nebeera bulungi
ebadde James Ssekajja omutandisi wa Conservative Party mu 1966 okutuusa omulundi omulala nze Frank Olsen mubeere bulungi.
This is NTV.
Forgive me. It's all that you can say. Years gone by and still words don't come easily. Like forgive me, forgive me. But you can say, baby.
I see your true colors shining through. True colors, that's why I love you. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, oh I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it, the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. And I see your true colors shining through. Your true colors, that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. True colors are beautiful, oh like a rainbow. Show me a smile. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when. I last saw you laughing when this world makes you crazy and you're taking all you can bear. Just call me up because you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors shining through. Your true colors, that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, oh, like a rainbow. Such sad eyes. Take courage now and realize when this world makes you crazy and you're taking all you can bear. Just call me up because you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors shining through. Your true colors, that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, true colors, true colors are beautiful, so beautiful, like a rainbow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Show me your colors, show me your colors. Show me your rainbow, beautiful. Like show me your colors, 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 colors shine. Show me your rainbow, so beautiful. That's why I love you. Show me your colors, colors shining through. Show me your rainbow. Show me your colors, colors, colors. Show me your rainbow, so beautiful. That's why I love you. Show me your true colors shining through. True colors shining through. True colors shining through. True colors.
Have you ever reached a rainbow's end? And did you find your pot of gold? Ever cast a shooting star? And tell me how high did you soar? Ever felt like you were dreaming just to find that you're awake, and the magic that surrounds you can lift you up and guide you on Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things I want to do. In my head I paint a picture. Since I come home, well, my body's been a biggest, and I miss your tender hair and the way you like the dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a 10. Hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. Now are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair, and are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine? Home where my body's been the biggest, and I'm best y'all down to here and the way you like the dress. I won't you come on over, stop making a fool out of me. Oh, why don't you come on over, Valerie? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you do. In my head I paint a picture. Since I come home, well, my body's been a biggest, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like the dress. Won't you come on?
Lord, tell them on the table screaming. The other side, they jealous. We gotta bake it for the cross. They got a table for the fellas. And they ain't spitting no cake. They should throw their hands in cause they don't got no space. My whole team got told, so my bank kid is looking like millionaire scroll.
Life's a game, but it's not fair.
Yeah.
Break the rules, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I keep doing my own thing. Walking forward with joy. Victory's in the mouth.
Yes.
Almost there, don't give up now. Only thing to show my mind.
Let me hear y'all. Yes. Yes.
It's funny how you could go from being Joe Blow to everybody on your no homo. I want my whole family with no Volvo. Next time I'm in church, please no photos. Police escorts, everybody passports. This the life that everybody asks for. This a fast life, we don't want a crash car. What you think I'm back for? To push a rap for? Stunting. All these girls only go for one thing. You can spend your whole life in goodwill hunting. Only good don't come is as good when I'm. She got an ass, gotta swallow up a G-string. And up top, what's that? 2 pieces, and I'm beasting off the re-sling. Just like if the chest made it out the precinct. We give a damn about the drama that the zoo bring. I'm just trying to change the color on your mood ring. Read my baby, you need to try some new things. Have you ever had shoes without shoestrings? What's that, babe? Baby, these heels, is that a makeup? Baby, these wheels, you tripping when you ain't sipping, have a refill. Feeling like you running high, now you know how we feel.
Make some noise for Rihanna one time tonight, y'all.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch Shema.
Baruch Abba Yerushalayim.
Baruch Shema.
Baruch atah
Baruch Shema.
Baruch Abba Yerushalayim.
Baruch Shema.
From the Bible to the Quran, a revelation in Jerusalem. Shalom, salam alaikum. You can see Christian, Jews and Muslims living together and praying amen. Let's give thanks and praises. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Rabba Yerushalayim Baruch Atah Adonai Baruch Rabba Yerushalayim Jerusalem, here I am. Jérusalem, je t'aime, je t'aime, je t'aime. Jérusalem, here I am. Jérusalem, je t'aime, je t'aime. Quran, Revelation time. Shalom, Salam alaikum. You can see Christian, Jews and Muslims pray, amen. Let's give thanks and praise it. Baruch Atah Adonai Baruch Rabba Yerushalayim Baruch Atah Adonai Baruch Rabba Yerushalayim Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, je t'aime, je t'aime, je t'aime. Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, je t'aime. Israël Yakirati, Israël Yakirati. Ani Oevota, Israël Yakirati, Israël Yakirati, Israël Yakirati, Israël Yakirati. Ani Oevotach Israël Yakirati.
This is NTV.
We must stand together. There's no giving in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Igaga, and as always, you're watching Men. Hope you're having a great Wednesday night, and tonight we are talking about responsibilities in the home. We have a lot of myths and realities, as Ransom keeps pointing out that I mentioned, about who's supposed to do what in the home. Sometimes it can even be a cause for divorce. So tonight with us at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel as our special guest, we have Dr. Maggie Chigozie. Dr. Harry, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You know, it's good because you're no stranger to TV. And now, the Three Musketeers.
I am very happy to be here.
So you're in safe hands.
Thank you.
All right. So Dr. Harry, it's our tradition to have the guest to be the first one to give her views. You come from a home where you've raised both boys and a girl. So you know that when it comes to responsibilities, these are things that you're either brought up knowing or you don't have them at all. Do you think there are certain roles in the home that are restricted to the male species and others restricted to the female species?
I don't think there are any roles that are restricted to either one, but there are those that some do better than others.
Yeah.
There are those that are done better by girls, and there are those that are done better by boys, and therefore it needs a conscious effort to not categorize your children into doing just that and giving them an opportunity to do everything else. So you have to be conscious that, yes, the girl looks after the baby better, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
But the boy needs to know how to handle babies. So he should be given an opportunity.
What about in the case of something like cooking?
Yes.
Because I'll give a typical example in my home. I was literally the best cook in our home.
Wow.
Serious, even better than my sisters. You know. So would that mean? But of course, you know, when in the home that I grew up in, I grew up seeing my dad wash dishes. I am in a situation where I love cooking. It's one of the things I do. However, and if your guy starts cooking, the reaction will be, what is wrong with him? I mean, he's got sisters, he's got a wife. Why are they doing it? I mean, he shouldn't be there. He should be putting his feet up and he should be relaxing.
Reading the newspaper.
Exactly, which is the life.
Yeah. Yes, traditionally that was the man's role. Come, bring in the money first of all, and then come back home and put his feet up and relax. And the housewife who spent the whole day supposedly doing nothing, because that's what they say. And I can tell you, as one who has had to do both,
yes,
much better to go to the office
than stay at home.
Oh God, the work at home never ends. You wash the dishes for breakfast, someone has a cup of tea at 10 o'clock, you wash the dishes again, someone has lunch, you wash the dishes again. And
you're cleaning house, you're making sure the house is dusted.
So there's actually much more work in the house. But that was the traditional thinking, that the gentleman should come home and relax. But that has had to change. It has just simply got to change. But also it didn't cater for people like you who would like to cook. And maybe at that time you would not have been allowed
but
to
I
cook.
don't like washing the dishes, so I just want to cook. That's it.
I don't like to cook. I don't like to wash the dishes either.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ransom, in your home, have you separated duties? Because it's just like, you know, when boys are being brought up, if they are not put into certain roles at an early age, they grew up knowing, I can't do this, I can't do that. And the same thing for girls. So have you got separate roles for your children?
Look, there can't be anything like that, and I don't believe in that. I believe that everyone should be able to do everything. The boys need to be able to cook, to wash. There's going to be a time when somebody's a bachelor or whatever. You need to be able to cook. You know, you don't want boys who will burn water. You know what I mean? You know, fail to boil water.
Yeah.
So, you know, from my experience, and I think. I don't think it was on purpose, but it just sort of happened that way, that we were, the boys in my family, we have four boys and 2 girls. We just tended to be just out playing, riding bikes or motorbikes or doing whatever. We managed to get away with it. So that's something that we have looked back on and tried to make sure that everyone can do everything. So the kids rotate chores in the house. It's not about just making sure that the maid does everything. No, she's there to help. But you need to be able to make your own bed. You need to be able to wash your own essentials. My kids like to call their underwear essentials. So you do your own essentials. You do certain things. You make your bed. You need to be able to make breakfast. So weekends, usually the kids take turns. Who does lunch? Who does breakfast? Who does the dishes? Who does the clearing up? And it's rotating. And you know, there's 4 of them, so it's everybody gets a turn to do something.
From my experience, for us in our home where I grew, it was not even about the sex. Yeah, like Ransom said, everyone should be able to do everything. It was not about the sex, and girls do this, guys do this. It was about the age. Now, I I was the first child. What happened was I have 2 working parents. You have a maid, you have a big family, they work for a month, then they disappear, then it takes another week to get another maid or 2, and who is taking care of the home. So you learn to do everything, and I don't know if I was unlucky. Yeah. Somehow when I cooked, the food tasted very nice. So even with maybe to you. Look, I mean, if they're requesting me to, if they're asking me to cook again, chances are that they have also enjoyed. So I learned to do all these things, and in my life, I prefer someone who knows how to do these things. I don't want my wife to be a maid first and foremost, but I prefer them to know.
But then, if I may ask, and I'll come to you, Colin, because you objected to making your daughter slash. I would never make my daughter slash grass, never. That one, I mean, come on.
You know? My mother reared cattle. Yeah, she did all those things. Why shouldn't her granddaughter know how? No, listen. Why shouldn't she know how to do it?
Times have changed, and I'll ask you, Dr. Don't you think there's a difference, a distinct difference between women?
Definitely, there's a huge difference between men and women, and you are absolutely right. There are things that men do better, like slashing the grass, and then there are those that require a lot of intelligence, a lot of intuition.
Oh, okay.
Those are better done by the women.
No.
But I am a gender activist, and I truly would like to encourage anybody out there who has girls, give them the opportunity. Give them the opportunity to slash the grass. It is an opportunity. Give them the opportunity to ride a bike, to climb a tree, because it makes us more competitive. I'll go out into the global world, and I need to compete against the best among the men. So if the difference is my ability to ride a bike and get there faster, you're already ruling me out. I am not riding bikes.
No. But Dr. don't you think this is one of the reasons why we now have serious challenges in society? Because men and women are at par. Or at least that's the way we're being made to think. Yes. Yeah. No. But you've just said we are different.
They're not yet.
You know. And isn't that what is causing a lot of problems in relationships? Because women are beginning to act like men. They are taking charge of the home, which traditionally should be a man's job. And they are, I believe in equal opportunities, but I believe there are certain responsibilities that are for the men. And vice versa also works the same, because now men are saying, all right, the women are taking charge. I don't even need to work. I can sit at home because my spouse is working.
you need to show affection, care, and it's the small things, I guess. You know, as Ransom always says, you know, take the time to say your hair looks nice. You know, I slept well. To communicate and talk.
Now, based on that, I need to ask a question. Are we then adopting non-traditional ways that are not African, which are now disintegrating our society? Because I'll give you an example. Back in the day, there was hardly any divorce. I mean, and women had clearly defined roles. Women would, you know, take care of the kids, would fetch the water, they would cook, they would milk the cows, and the man's job would be to herd the cows. Okay, but the society was working, the system was working. Now we are changing it, and
was working for whom?
Exactly, that's the question.
Was working
I'm
for
sure you could see the question coming. I kind of think it was working.
You fetch water 7 miles away in a jerry can. You're the weak member of the family, right? Why couldn't that strong, muscular man have gone to fetch the water?
Today, Peter, walk on the streets, drive, and you see some guy holding a little plastic bag. There's a woman with a baby on her back, and she's carrying a big bag on her head.
But
and it's like
in some of those societies, that is how it happens. A woman doesn't
make you right.
And it works. It doesn't
work. It works for the men.
I think the problem has been now to tell that woman that what you're doing is less than what the other guy is doing.
Exactly. She's doing more. She's actually doing more.
The problem is, but if you understand, tell the guy that, listen, carry that bag, and he says,
no, but I'm bag.
But when you go back to the Bible,
you're the man.
The woman was created to support the man.
Wait. Let me just say this. I think what Peter said, what you said was, I think you were wrong when you said our society is disintegrating. This changing roles is evolving, and unfortunately, instead of people's roles evolving with it, you have, you know, guys like me, as Ransom says, who get stuck in the old ways. Yeah. Like, no. And what we're saying is today's father, because you work in Namamve and the guy works in town, the lady says, can you pick up the kids? If you pick up the kids, you take them home, you shower them, you do homework. You know, because but they're saying, no, I can't. So you choose to go to the bar and wait for...
This is NTV.
End of the road.
Police finally arrest wanted Rwandan genocide fugitive Kwitonda Thadi in Kampala.
It's Thursday night, the 5th of July 2012, and this is NTV Tonight, coming to you live from our studios here in Kampala.
Tonight, yet another Rwanda genocide fugitive is nabbed in Uganda. So what next for Kwitonda Thadi?
Also tonight, the anti-graft activists, MPs, embark on an ambitious plan. They want legislation that has more teeth to humble the corrupt.
But will this be realized? That debate forms part of our topic on NTV Poll tonight. So be sure to have your say.
But first, here are the rest of tonight's headlines.
Corruption is everywhere. It is from the President's office, Prime Minister's office, judiciary, Parliament.
Fighting corruption, MPs and anti-graft activists push for life imprisonment for the corrupt.
The blame game continues. Disaster Preparedness Minister accuses government agencies of laxity in the handling of the Bududa landslide.
Tension rises as government seeks to evict hundreds of encroachers from the shores of Lake Nachivale. A very good evening and thank you for joining us here on NTV tonight. I am Faith Ariho.
And I am Gabriel Apeno. Welcome to the program. Now, the anti-corruption activists are demanding that amendments into the Anti-Corruption Act should as well target a sitting president.
The proposal comes a week after lawmakers announced a move to table a private member's bill to amend the Anti-Corruption Act to insert provisions to confiscate properties of the corrupt.
They're also calling for life imprisonment for those convicted.
The proposals were fronted today during the consultative meeting with Anti-Corruption Civil Society Organization.
The Anti-Corruption Amendment Bill 2012, a private member's bill, seeks to introduce tough penalties against the corrupt by confiscating and attaching their properties. But as the movers embark on the public consultations to enrich the bill, the anti-corruption activists are demanding that an amendment be introduced targeting the sitting president.
The parliament should come with a law that gives them also the power to convict the notorious corruptible people.
Corruption is everywhere. It is from the president's office, prime minister's office, judiciary, parliament. Here there is corruption, churches, up to homes.
So I don't know, my brother, if there will be a provision somewhere how the institution of the president can be touched about, because it is him even who issues the directives.
Because you can't say it is going to be risky for you when I know at the end of the day I'll go in the armpits of the president and hide there.
The introduction of these amendments, however, may not see the light of the day, since it requires a constitutional amendment to trim the powers of the president.
We should find a way of amending the constitution so that even the president, to a certain extent, we can align him before the courts of law.
When the president said that we have fought all the other wars, and we have won all of them, except only one. And this is the war against corruption. I said, what? Wars? Yay! There is a song in the Bible which says, when duty calls or danger, be never wanting there. We use this bill to mobilize the whole country and everybody to feel that we have one common position.
The bill seeks to make corruption a risky venture, but the anti-graft activists are calling for a tougher penalty of life imprisonment to the corrupt.
Any thief who is really stealing public resources, we must make it very hard, like they do down the market when someone steals a mobile phone and they apply mob justice on this person. And you are causing huge losses of money. Why can't you go for life imprisonment?
According to the leadership code which mandates the public officials to declare their wealth, the law restricts only the IGG and is treated as confidential. This, according to the activists, requires an amendment to force the IGG make properties public.
Because you see, how are we going to know what our leaders possess?
What is wrong with saying I have 5 houses? Because for me, like example, I'm telling you I'm not a poor man, I'm a billionaire. But I can tell you how I accumulated step by step, step by step. And now, if I tell a lie, and they discover that I'm telling a lie, then let the property all be confiscated.
The World Bank research indicates that Uganda loses 500 billion shillings annually to corruption. MPs John Simbo of Makindye East, Patrick Nsanja of Ntenjeru South, and Sempala Mbuga of Nakaseke will soon seek leave of Parliament to embark on the counter-ward consultations on the proposed private members' bill to tighten the noose against the corrupt. Jingo Francis, NTV, Parliament.
Well, this story forms the platform for our poll question tonight, and we would like to hear from you on it. We are asking, do you agree with the proposal that a person convicted of corruption should face life imprisonment? Do you agree with the proposal that a person convicted of corruption should face life in prison?
Well, to have your say, text 8778 followed by yes or no, as well as your name and where you're texting from, and we shall be reading some of your comments during tonight's newscast, as well as bringing you the final poll result at the tail end of the news.
Okay. Now, tonight, one of the most wanted suspects in Rwanda's 1994 genocide has been arrested here in Uganda.
Thadi Kwitonda was picked up by cops this morning from his hideout at Rwenzori Courts in Kampala.
Well, Kwitonda is also wanted in Belgium over the same genocide charges. Police in Uganda have been trailing the 51-year-old since April this year. He was found in possession of a Belgian passport which he acquired in 2000. A Belgian court issued an arrest warrant against Kwitonda on 4th October last year for genocide crimes he allegedly committed in Rwanda in 1994. Back then he was the Deputy Secretary General of the Central Bank of Rwanda. Over 800,000 people died during the genocide. The police are now working with the Ministry of Internal Affairs to deport the suspect to Belgium.
We have been following this person because an international warrant arrest has been on the red notice. So this morning we managed to get him. We have been trailing him because he has been around since April 2012. Okay. So today at around 10:30 we are able to catch up with him at Resort Towers.
Yes. So what are you going to do for him?
We are working out with the immigration department, and definitely is to have him deported so that he goes and answers the charges preferred against him.
Do they detail the charges? Like, did he participate in hacking people? Which charges are those? Because in genocide they seem to be generalizing.
It is accused that he was involved in acts of genocide in his own home district, Ruhengeri Prefecture, Nyakabanda, in Rwanda, between the end of April 1994, between April and July 1994. And he took part in acts of violence in Butare also town, and is among those accused for murder, genocide, bodily and mental harm, and also enforced transportation of children and groups for torture.
Okay, so Afande, are you going to, who was he by then?
Formerly he was working in Chigari, and he was just hold on. He was in Rwanda. He worked with Sanoro Insurance, and also as a deputy secretary for Secretary General of the Central Bank of Rwanda.
Okay. Is there any information I've left out, Afande, you'd want to give me?
You will get it in my email, my brother.
Are you in touch with the Rwandan government?
We don't need to. This is an international warrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Afande.
He is currently being held at Police Investigation Unit in Chireka. Kwitonda is the second genocide suspect to be arrested in Uganda after Idelphonse Nizeima was arrested in Uganda in October 2009 and tried at the UN-backed tribunal in Tanzania. Other people of Bududa are likely to be struck by yet another landslide disaster if the government does not speed up its evacuation program. This follows reports from the Geology Department early this week that Mount Elgon had cracked to a stretch of 80 kilometers. According to the Deputy State Minister in the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Musa Echweru, the relocation exercise has stalled due to the laxity by the concerned committee tasked to come up with resolutions for the relocation program.
The cracks on the slopes of Mount Elgon are increasing every day as efforts to retrieve the missing bodies buried by a landslide that struck Bonakasala village on Monday last week continue. The Meteorology Department warns that more rains are going to pound this area within the month of July and August. That means a lot of water is likely to diffuse into the soils on the slopes of Mount Elgon. Therefore, the people staying in those areas stand a risk of being washed away, and time is running out.
I want to state today to all my colleagues in the government to take the Elgon threat very seriously.
According to the geologists, the crack on the slopes of Mount Elgon has stretched 80 kilometers and has affected the districts of Sironko, Bulambuli, Manafwa, and Bulucheke sub-county, among others. But the lives of these people at risk remain in the hands of a committee from the Prime Minister's office chaired by General Moses Ali, which is supposed to come up with the recommendations on what needs to be done.
If it can give us that advice next week, I will be happy to implement it. Because if we don't do that, then we can have a bigger calamity in our hands, and that can be very difficult to explain.
The major concern has been where to relocate the locals, who previously expressed doubt about the government's suggestion to take them to Kidiandongo. The president had earlier proposed that government should develop some of the urban areas in Bududa, which are less prone to the landslides, in order for the people to continue farming on the fertile slopes of Mount Elgon. Critics, however, say that seconds well utilized during a looming disaster can save 9. Today, 2 more bodies were recovered from the mudslide, bringing the total number of the recovered bodies to 4 since the excavation process started last week. However, the team hacking the hard heaps of soil to retrieve the decomposing bodies are finding it hard to stand the putrid smell.
The
protective gear must be there by now.
Critics insist that if the equipment had arrived in time in the affected Bonakasala village, so far the discovered bodies would have not decomposed. According to Echeru, the delay was as a result of the hiring and transporting of the equipment, which were found lacking at Ministry of Works centers in the entire eastern region from Lira to Jinja, including Kampala.
I just want to let the country know that this has confirmed that some of these organizations are naked, and their nakedness shows that they are sick.
The Ministry of Disaster and Preparedness only plays a coordination role, and if the necessary incentives are not got from the concerned ministries on time, the country remains ill-prepared in dealing with disasters. For now, the shift of events should be from waiting to discover the missing bodies to rather save thousands of lives at risk. Sudil Biarhanga, NTV.
Now, residents of Isinjiro district who are living around the shores of Lake Nachivale stand to be evicted by the Water and Environment Ministry for the purposes of restoring the lake that has been encroached on and are now showing signs of drying up. Lake Nachivale, which used to be at 72 square kilometers, has now reduced to 56 square kilometers. The ministry said the government would not hesitate to use force if any of the occupants refuse to relocate.
If this lake is not protected now, if people are not removed from the 200-meter no encroachment zone, in the next 10 to 15 years, this lake will be no more.
Lake Nachivale, the main source of water in Isingiro district and the neighboring districts like Rakai and Tungamo, also a catchment area for Lake Victoria, is under pressure of drying up due to constant encroachment. Despite this fact, the Ministry of Water and Environment are facing resistance from the residents here who cultivate several crops along the banks, causing silt in the lake and raising its water table. They are refusing to vacate the land within 200 meters from the lake.
akijaka na polisi bakija bakanta he ibintu byanje bakabinagisaho nkagaruka nkaye
hati nituza gukora cyo mutsarra hamita muri cyo kutumara umutumo mu ndamaragona garihuka.
Even with tensions high, the ministry officials together with the Ministry of Disaster insist the exercise will be executed within 1 month.
Our resolve to protect the fragile ecosystem like Lake Nachivale is going to start, and we are not going to waver. We are going to hold on to our responsibility.
Please cooperate, cut them off or harvest them as soon as possible. As the minister said earlier on, we have environmental police force, but we do not want to use them.
The most affected group is the Rwandese refugees, consisting of over 200 families. They came here after the 1994 Rwanda genocide and have been cultivating these banks for years now.
There is plenty of land up from 200 meters to the lake. A lot of land. As long as your eye can see, there is land. Cultivate on some of that land.
It is estimated that Lake Nakivale, which used to be at 72 square kilometers, has now reduced to 56 square kilometers because of deforestation and the encroachment on the lake.
Justice Irene Eseza Mulyagonja Kakoza has today been sworn in as the new Inspector General of Government, replacing Justice Faith Mwanda, who left office in 2009. Justice Mulyagonja was first appointed judge in 2008 and has been working in the Commercial Division of the High Court. She becomes the fourth IGG since 1986 after Augustine Ruzindana Jonathan Tumwesije and Justice Faith Mwanda. She will be deputized by Raphael Baku, who has been acting in this position since 2009. Officiating at the ceremony at NTV State House this afternoon, President Yoweri Museveni urged Justice Mulyagonja to seek administration justice to all without affection or ill will.
Having been appointed as Inspector General of Government, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will at all times well and truly exercise the functions of Inspector General of Government in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of Uganda, and will do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of Uganda, without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and that I will not directly or indirectly reveal to any unauthorized person any matter that comes to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and is committed to my secrecy. So help me God.
Lady Justice Mulyagonja, on our appointment as Inspector General of Government. Thank you very much. So we go for the photograph. Very good.
Thank you. We'll now take a short break, but return with more stories, so do stay with NTV tonight. A second chance. 12-year-old boy's journey to live an almost normal life after suffering from the nodding syndrome.
And on EcoTalk this week, why interest is growing in conservation farming. NTV Tonight continues after the short break. See you shortly.
This is NTV.
I'm knocking. A message yali ku the last piece of a jambia yali muhadi wa yonna. No, bloody way, holy moly.
We've just met. How can I be your friend? Mr. Rajmond. Okuzimba nyumba nga kintu kizibu nnyo banange mugumire mu bupangisa. Come.
I'm called Olar Oton. There's no English name. Just like resistance, Yakazol.
I blame you. You have option of getting international husband. Why do you get it local?
New time.
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu maama
bano abasajja
abanatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
sogera byange kibanda bana bagamba nga bagamba ne bwagala nkubulira ebyange jja tugende emyanzi.
Welcome back. We start with a reminder of our NTV poll question for tonight and some of your responses to an issue that has been one of the Uganda government's biggest challenges. Now we ask, do you agree with the proposal that a person convicted of corruption should face life imprisonment? I'll say that again. Do you agree with the proposal that a person convicted of corruption should face life in prison?
Well, to have your say, text 8778, then yes or no, and followed by your name and where you are texting from. Let's now take a look at some of your comments so far.
Okay, Cassie Rogers, you say it sounds a good idea, but we might end up losing the whole government who will be languishing in prison.
And Bogede from Chibuli says corruption can only be fought through political will, not new laws.
Okay, thus is how the poll results stand so far. 80% of you actually do agree with this proposal that those corrupt should face life in prison, while 20% of you are saying no.
Well, stay tuned as we shall be bringing you more comments on tonight's final poll results at the tail end of tonight's newscast.
Okay. Now, in the face of no drugs, no caretakers and no food, nodding syndrome is a debilitating condition.
It raises an outcry amongst the public seeing children waste away.
Of the disease speculated to be caused by a black fly and lack of vitamin B6. When children are offered symptomatic treatment, food and care, it can have less devastating effects.
To allay the fears of the community, the Ministry of Health set up 3 treatment centers with supplies including food in Kitgum, Padera and Lamu Northern District with over 3,000 afflicted children.
Withdrawn and isolated from his age mates as they enjoy a game of football is 12-year-old Kabila, oblivious to the activity within his earshot. The boy has nodding syndrome, a disease which has left many children in some northern districts stunted, malnourished and weak in movement as health experts try to find its exact cause and cure. But that is Askine Kabila we visited in early January 2012, looking sad in his father's compound, Augustine Ochiti, in Okidi Parish in Kitgum district. 5 months later, in the same compound, we catch sight of a young boy, fleshier and walking with some spring to see the visitors who have invaded his home. The young boy is Kabila, daring and merrier. Crowds now attract him. No more isolation, and he can talk.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Another child, Kabila's cousin, who was as weak as he was in January, nearly breaks into a run when she spots us.
When we came here to visit Kabila in January, he could not do what he's doing right now. He has gotten better.
The little boy, most of all, can rhythmically dance to any tune. What could have changed?
Last time we come and visit Kabila, Kabila was so weak. And after they have taken them to Kampala, when they come back, he was staying with her. Yeah, that's why they have been telling them that they have to take good care of them. She was been giving drugs, giving good feeding.
This good turnaround for Kabila was enforced by Kitgum woman MP Beatrice Anywa in early March when she packed 25 children aboard this bus from Kitgum to Malago National Referral Hospital in Kampala. Kabila was a passenger. Back home, he comes to Okidi Health Center 3, like over 300 children with the disease who can access medicine at least once a month to help with symptoms like seizures. Kitgum Main Hospital, which is a gazetted nodding disease center, is too far for him, but the supplies are there.
We urge our local government to utilize the services we created because we gave them vehicles. There is no reason why those children should be stranded. These vehicles are fueled, they are given drivers.
The Minister of Health believes the disease is no more a mystery after over 200 causes, including war chemicals, were ruled out by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, in Atlanta. They narrowed down on lack of vitamin B6 as a cause, as well as the black fly.
Which we are very soon spraying. The people who are affected will be treated as cases. Come rain, come sunshine, we are going to reduce the instances of nodding disease.
For Kabila, anything more that can be done will make him even better. Hunger is no more a problem since the season is on for mangoes. He always has 2 almost stashed in his pockets And with committed medication, he is now as healthy as his siblings, save for an occasional seizure attack. Florence Nalimba, NTV.
Encouraging indeed. And now for other stories making the news across Uganda tonight. Not every day do you have drama at the doorstep of a place as serious as a bank. But then again, they say there is always a first time. Today, a Makerere University student decided to take his one-man protest right to the entrance of Crane Bank Limited, which he accuses of wrongly deducting money from his account on different occasions. Bagaya Ibrahim says that after his efforts to get compensated were to no avail, he decided to act.
So this is the police. Who is the suspect? Crane Bank Limited. They've stolen my money for long and I'm tired. I'm not leaving this place until I get my money. My friend, I'll sit here.
The commotion attracted bystanders who seemed sympathetic to the young man's woes. Bagaya was convinced into negotiating with bank officials over the matter. He later emerged with this news.
They owe me 800,000 shillings. I've so far got 300 after this strike, which I had applied for. I've now applied for more. I've given them an ultimatum of tomorrow.
However, Crane Bank officials were angered by the incident and threatened to take action against Bagaya.
So now the bank is contemplating legal action against him for defamation, and I have shown you the case.
In other news, transport in Mityana today ground to a halt after drivers and conductors protested over what they say is the municipal council's decision to deny them a contract to manage the park. Under the Mityana Drivers and Conductors Association, the angry group tried to prevent other transporters from operating, and police had to be called in to rein in on the situation. They later took their grievances to the district headquarters, where the chief administrative officer promised to have the matter resolved.
Finally, the National Action for Awakening Uganda have supported a senior six leaver to go and represent Uganda at the annual International Mathematics Olympiad competitions in Argentina. Maria Nyamukuru is among those who early this year passed a national mathematics contest and automatically qualified to participate in the prestigious event. However, the six remained uncertain about their participation as efforts by government to fund their travel did not materialize.
They went direct, as in the president's office promised to sponsor us, but we've been waiting since.
Rwanda, Kenya, Botswana, Nigeria, they're already there. But ours, we are still on the streets of Uganda looking for funds. Only $2,020.
Maria will now join the rest of the world in Argentina tomorrow to compete in the event.
With climate change on the increase and environmental degradation taking root over the years, some farmlands, especially in rural areas, have become infertile even when basic gardening methods are used. But now, did you know that you can plant without opening up your entire field, but dig deep into the topsoil to access better nutrients in the soil? Well, Craig Kadoda explains to us how this basic soil conservation technology works in today's EcoTalk.
As the planting season approaches, many farmers often open their fields to remove weeds and any foreign bodies in the soil so that it is ready for crops through a process referred to as tilling. The most common tools used are hoes and ox plows, which turn the topsoil inside out. But you can actually plant crops in a field that is not opened up and have them receive better nutrients from the soil, as more nutrients are conserved in it for more years. For a former field like this, all that one has to do is to slash off the grass, but not open the ground. Then a machine identified as a reaper, which is a movable hard steel hook and attached to oxen, gets to work. It is used to break up the hard topsoil, and with this, one just has to run it through the now freshly slashed land.
And actually, when you look at a reaper, it goes deep to 15 to 20 centimeters compared to a hoe or an ox plow. Ox plow goes about 8 to 10. So at the end, if you have been using an ox plow or a hoe, you will create a hard pan underneath the soil. So when you plant your crop, the roots will not be able to penetrate deeper. They will just reach at a hard pan and then they will make a U-turn. Then you lose at the end.
The reaper creates strips of 15 centimeters that are always evenly spaced out in the field, leaving the unopened land in place, which maintains it in its natural state and doesn't expose it to sunshine and other factors like erosion. But before one plants the seeds, some of the soils previously removed have to be returned so that the holes are not so deep. In areas where oxen cannot operate, to move the reaper, hoes are used to dig holes in the ground that are referred to as basins. Although hoes lead to hard pans underneath, the soil, when used because they go as far as 10 centimeters, in this case, they dig a specific size.
When you dig the basin, it should be about 30 centimeters wide and about 15 centimeters to 20 centimeters deep. Still, the approach is the same. When you you dig 20 centimeters, you break the hard pan, and then you need to backfill, so that when you plant your crop, the roots can really enjoy and then go deep. Secondly, the basin really, when it rains, it harvests water under the basin, so your crop can survive for 3 or 4 weeks without rains.
The basins can each accommodate 5 seeds, which all grow up spaciously and do not get suffocated. But the grass that was slashed initially often grows back, and a few weeds which are not covered too grow back. But this can all be controlled.
You spray. We use herbicides, and we normally use a glyphosate herbicide. After that, you plant. But remember, you should not burn the residue. So we keep the residues on top. The residues will suffocate the weed to germinate. They will not be allowed to germinate. So that is another way of controlling the weed.
This creates more manure for the soils and maintains the nutrients and soil cover in its natural state. So, is this technique effective?
Using the other before this project came in the plot, I was realizing 75 kilograms of maize, but when I planted the first season using this technology of basin digging, I got 370 kilograms of maize in that small plot, which is even a quarter an acre.
The technology is also labor and time effective because creating a line using a reaper takes a short period of time, and so are the basins as opposed to opening the field completely, exposing it to a lot of sunshine and rainwater that could possibly wash it all away. Continuous tilling of land always leads to soil degradation through easy displacement of soils. Yet all this can be avoided if one practices conservation farming and other good agricultural practices. Krikadoda, NTV EcoTalk.
Okay, it's time for NTV Business right now with Malcolm Musime. Malcolm, take it away.
Thank you, Gabriel and Faith. And on NTV Business Night, we'll be bringing you details of an operation to crack down on copyright infringement and why there is an interest in the performing artist industry. So join me after the break for all the very latest in business. Don't go away.
If a political leader is under investigation to offences related to corruption, embezzlement, or abuse of office, and all of causing financial loss, then he must be sent on forced leave by the supervisor of that institution where that person is.
This is NTV.
I'm knocking. A message yali ku the last piece of a jambia yali muhadi wa yonna. No, bloody way, holy moly.
We've just met. How can I be your friend? Mr. Rashmond. Okuzimba nyumba nga kintu kizibu nnyo banange mugumire mu bupangisa. Come.
I'm called.
A message yali ku the last piece of a jambia yali muhadi wa yonna. No, bloody way, holy moly.
We've just met. How can I be your friend? Mr. Rashmond. Okuzimba nyumba nga kintu kizibu nnyo banange mugumire mu bupangisa. Come.
I'm called Olar Oton. There's no English name. Just like resistance, Yakazol.
I blame you. You have option of getting international husband. Why do you get it local?
Jaweza takusau ya zamani lopitia hii dunia.
You should think about tomorrow, not only today.
Influenced by the beauty and unique spirit of his home country, Uganda, Maurice Kiria's music is an uncommon blend of soul, Afro and R&B, which he prefers to call Moyo, which means soul. At the age of 15, Maurice started singing professionally and recorded with popular Uganda gospel, rap and jazz artists. Maurice has performed throughout Africa and was the 2007 Best R&B Artist winner of the Pearl of Africa Music Awards in Uganda. He was also nominated at the Kisima Awards in Kenya and has worked with the legendary Mali musician Musa Diallo, Cecile Verni Quartet from Germany, Beniwe from Paris, First Love from Uganda, Pragmo from Uganda, and Kasozi from the UK.
If I ever lose my mind and don't say that I love you, just know that it's true. And if
Kiria has written songs for different jazz musicians, provided background vocals for singer and producer Steve Jean, and recorded the East African anthem with Susanna Wio from Kenya and Pauline Zongo from Tanzania. In 2008, Maurice joined hands with longtime friend and musician Kawesa to stage a concert dubbed Music with Heart that raised funds for children needing open heart surgery at the Children's Charity Ward in the International Hospital, Kampala. Maurice has performed with Jonathan Butler and was chosen as one of the 10 best live performers in Africa by Sauti za Busara Music Festival. Kiria also runs a monthly show titled The Maurice Kiria Experience that showcases live acts from East Africa and numerous other parts of the world. The show has been credited for boosting the live music scene in Uganda since it exposes established and non-established live musicians and poets.
Thank you for watching. This is NTV Business Night. I'm Marco Musime. And an operation mounted by government agencies to arrest traders engaged in corporate infringement of the works of performing artists turned violent, with traders barring the inspection officials access to their premises amidst accusations of witch hunt. The interagency operation, championed by the National Bureau of Standards and Uganda Revenue Authority, is intended to protect the performing artists industry, an area the taxman is keenly eyeing in its effort to widen the tax base.
With the Uganda Revenue Authority working around the clock to shore up its revenue collection effort, the tax body has joined hands with other agencies to clamp down on those engaged in copyright infringement. While this move is meant to enforce the country's corporate laws, on the one hand, the major motivator for the taxman's involvement is the protection of an industry that is today ranking in hundreds of millions and possessing a huge potential to boost tax collections.
Well, there has been a loud outcry from copyright owners, particularly the artists. Government wants taxes from artists. It became only clear that in order for the musicians to make money so that they are able to pay the taxes, government must play its part. Yes, it did it. They gave us the law, they gave us the regulations, but then that's not enough. The law must be enforced.
The clampdown, however, ended prematurely as traders turned rowdy, with some citing ignorance of the existence of the copyright law, while others accused government of witch hunt.
Now in the financial markets, the shilling has continued to trade in a narrow range against the dollar, hovering below the 2,500 mark. We have more in the financial market report.
Financial report is brought to you by URA, developing Uganda together.
All vehicles are required to revalidate their registration using our new online module and get a new logbook. All newly imported vehicles will also be registered online using this new online module. Get out of the line and get online.
Now finally, in NTV Business Tonight, Barclays PLC's credit rating are under threat after its top 3 executives quit and lawmakers prepared to open an inquiry into the Liberate rigging scandal. Moody's Investors Service, a credit rating agency, cut the outlook on the London-based lender's standalone financial strength to negative from stable, according to a statement released today.
The ratings company cited political pressure on the Barclays business model and the departure of Chief Executive Officer Robert Diamond as major push factors for the downgrade. The executive stepped down after the lender was fined a record $452 million for trying to rig the London interbank offered rate for profit. UK lawmakers were expected to vote today on the type of inquiry they will hold into Barclays' attempt to manipulate the benchmark rate. Barclays shares fell 0.4% to 165.3 pence at 11:05 a.m. in London trading today. They plunged 16% on June 28th, the day after the bank's settlement with regulators was announced. Its stock is down 5.5% this year, making Barclays the worst performer in the 6-member FTSE 350 Banks Index.
And that's NTV Business Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'll hand you over back now to Gabriel and Faith.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Now, Joel Kamadi joins us to take us through sport. Joel, what should we expect tonight?
Thank you, Faith and Gabriel. Now, join me as I will be telling you who Uganda will be facing at the qualifiers for the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. And I can tell you this, they will have to play their hearts out. All this and more coming up in NTV Sport.
This is NTV.
Every time you come around, you know what I feel like doing to you. Every time you come around, you know what I feel like doing to you. Rukundo, don't waste my time. If you know what I want, just give it to me.
Today we bring you Jackie Chandiru, a former member of the Blue 3 who had to be pushed to take a step in which she has found pride and happiness. Born to a Lugbara father and a Muganda mother, Jackie Chandiru is one of Uganda's leading female R&B artists and vocalists. Jackie kicked off her musical career in 2004 after she emerged as one of the winners for the Coca-Cola Pop Stars. This led to the formation of Blue 3 that became one of the leading girl groups in Uganda and Africa, with hit songs like Kakana, Hitaji, among many others. Jackie did not wish for a solo music career, and when the idea was first mooted in October 2009 by the Blue 3 management team Talent 256, Jackie was more than apprehensive to an idea she voted against but lost. However, from the look of things, it is evident that Jackie definitely enjoys the harvest of the sun.
Good evening, I am Joel Kamadi and welcome to NTV Sport. Now, lack of funds has hindered athletics from adequately preparing for Olympics in London later this month. Despite the setback, athletes are determined to make the podium for medals, as Alfred Odong reports.
Team Uganda's training has been hampered by lack of funds to facilitate the athletes in camp in Kabale, with a weather almost similar to one in London where the games will be held. The 15 athletes are training in different areas, a situation that is worrying officials ahead of the competitions to start on the 27th of this month. With about 3 weeks left to the start of the Olympic Games in London, athletes here in Uganda are confident they are ready to make a mark on the international scene. However, officials believe that much needs to be done, especially to prepare athletes to match the climate in London.
I'm confident because of my time. I have a 4:05 time. I'm the best, like top 10 in the world. If you go the world ranking in the athletics, 1500 meters.
It would be good for us to go to Kabale, this athletes training in Kabale. It would have helped them a lot, and certainly would see a performance in London after athletes staying in a camp. Apart from that, when you bring all the athletes in one camp with the coaches monitoring them, then you can monitor their training better, other than what we have now, athletes in 4 or 5 different places.
The team needs 25 million to meet all the requirements while in camp in Kabale before departure. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Now moving on, Isaac Senyange Zebra has vowed to outdo the psychological fight by Kenya's Patrick Amote ahead of tomorrow's middleweight bout at Garden City in Kampala. The fighters have been cleared by the medical team after comprehensive examination to ascertain their health status.
The weigh-in exercise ahead of the long-awaited fight between Isaac's Zebra Senyange and Kenya's Patrick Amote ended in controversy after it emerged Senyange was heavier. 77 kilograms against Amote's 71 became an issue of concern, with the Kenyan officials threatening to abandon the fight if Senyange does not cut weight, a demand the Ugandan camp say is a ploy for the visitors to gain an advantage.
But the boxer from Uganda is not in weight. He's overweight, so I need him to cut the weight. Before cutting weight, I don't think if he can play like that.
This is my first fight. They want to take advantage of me. They want me to reduce some weight, and then they take advantage of me because I've been fighting 3 rounds, and they're taking me in the 4th round. That's why they were thinking they're going to knock me out in the 4th round or the 5th round, because they think I'm going to get worn up and I'll be running and reducing that weight.
Senyange is making a maiden appearance in the professional ranks with a record 235 fights in the amateur category, where he captained Uganda's national team, the Bombers. Amote, however, has experience in the paid ranks, having fought 8 times with 4 wins, 3 knockouts and 1 loss. The event, to have 4 undercard fights, had all the athletes subjected to a comprehensive medical examination to avoid complications during the contest tomorrow.
I looked at their respiration rate, which looks okay for all. We've looked at their pulse rate, which looks fine. We've looked at their cardiorespiratory function, the way how their heart works in relation to their breathing, which looks fine. There's no problem at all. And any muscle strains or neck strains that they could have had before that can prevent them to jog and play very well.
Frank Chiwalabi will challenge Solomon Sesanga in the featherweight category as Juma Waswa takes on Patrick Atuhaire in the welterweight. Robert Kami and Kenneth Odeke are to face Charles Kakande and James Omolo in the middle and heavyweight bouts. Uganda Amateur Boxing Union have pledged to make better the fighters' welfare by paying each player the worth of his efforts. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Now, the Uganda Cranes have been drawn to play against the defending champions of the Africa Cup of Nations, the Chipolopolo of Zambia, in the last round of the 2013 qualifiers. The Zambians will host Uganda Cranes before traveling to Kampala for the second leg.
So this concludes today's draw. Let me provide you with the list of all 15 matches once again. Mali will play Botswana. Zimbabwe versus Angola, Ghana versus Malawi, Liberia versus Nigeria, Zambia versus Uganda, Cape Verde Islands versus Cameroon, Mozambique versus Morocco, Sierra Leone versus Tunisia, and then Guinea versus Niger, Sudan against Ethiopia, Libya versus Algeria, Côte d'Ivoire versus Senegal, Democratic Republic of Congo versus Equatorial Guinea, Gabon versus Togo, and finally the 15th match, Central African Republic against Burkina Faso. And those, ladies and gentlemen, the matches will be played first leg on September 7, 8, 9, and then the return on October 12, 13, 14.
Now, goal line technology has finally been approved and will soon be introduced to the Barclays Premier League and beyond. After a long list of controversies, including Frank Lampard's goal against Germany at the 2010 World Cup, the game is ready for change. The International FA Board gave the go-ahead to both the Hawk-Eye and the Golf Ref systems at the meeting in Zurich. The Club World Cup in Tokyo involving Chelsea will be the first event where the technology will be introduced. Technology could be introduced into the Premier League as soon as the new year. We shall be giving you more on this story in our subsequent bulletins tomorrow.
Are you ready to drink at the table of men?
And that's all the sport for me. Back to you, Faith and Gabriel.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Joel Kamadi, for the sport. Let's now have a look at Friday's weather prospects. Let's now take you back to tonight's NTV poll, and we asked, do you agree with the proposal that a person convicted of corruption should face life imprisonment? The final poll result for tonight is out. 80% of you seem to agree with this proposal, while 20% of our respondents disagree.
Well, we thank you so much for all your comments tonight. Let's now sample some of them.
All right, Gerald Lutaya, you say, no, the person convicted and found guilty of corruption should refund the money with interest duly calculated at the existing bank rates.
And someone from NTV who didn't leave a name says, no need for new laws, but have a will to fight the vice politically, its existing laws, and finally address root causes and not to concentrate in symptoms.
Job Bango, you say the Constitution is about equality, justice and freedom. If a man is found culpable of armed robbery, he must face the death sentence. However, a court that is in a hurry to sentence an armed robber who stole 20 million shillings should also be prepared to attend to corruption cases in the same vein.
And someone here says life imprisonment would be a mockery of justice, and I'm sure no judge would hand it down.
Okay, what seems to be clear is that everybody wants punitive punishment for the corrupt. Thank you so much for all of your responses tonight.
Thank you for watching NTV Tonight. I am Faith Eriho.
And I am Gabriel Apeno. I'll be back with NTV 11 later on. But coming up next in a little while is On the Spot with Patrick Kamara. Good night.
This is NTV.
I'll roll up. Put it down on me, put it down on me. Fire flame, spitter.
G6, like a G6.
I think I'm Big Meech. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody.
It's the cataract.
Lucini pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what? You can see a man's face, but you can't see his heart. I am Wale, Oluba. We be in the party like we own that bar.
Tease me, baby. Jangweno, baby. Jangweno, baby.
To be honest, it's one of the most scary genres of music for me.
For me every day.
Irifemasi nisu tadi makero.
Jangweno, baby.